Hello, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for this session of Call of Cthulhu. Today we are continuing our playthrough of the Two-Headed Serpent as our heroes depart New York with the Mafia on their tail and head for distant Iceland, where the volcano is a-rumbling and the rocks are a-tumbling. You can find all of our VODs over on the Chaosium YouTube channel for the previous chapters we played through, as well as previous campaigns we've done. And if you're watching there, we do stream live each week on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So do join us in chat. We also got a Discord server set up for people to hang out in and all sorts of goodness. Currently, there is also the, I guess now resolving Bookshops of Arkham playthrough, which was done in collaboration with Roll20. And the final episode of that will be going up on our YouTube channel early next week. So definitely check that out. They've done a terrific job with that production. I'd like to thank Roll20 and Sirenscape for being tools which you use to improve our games. And without further ado, let's return to our excellent adventurers as they arrive at the airport, chuckle their gear onto a plane, and get the hell out of Dodge. Now you'll all have like a day or so in flight. So as we throw this around the screen, if you could all introduce your investigators and give us a bit of a description of you, and how are you doing after a night of very little rest and very much being chased by dogs and swimming for some of you. The rest of you kind of lurked on buildings. Okay, Art, why don't you begin?
Hi, I'm Art. Up until the point where you said chased by dogs, I was like, well, that is me right now. I'm not on a day-long flight, but I am tired. Good. Ares, I play that. No, hi, I'm Art. I play Lieutenant Ares Carter, a ex-military officer, and them fatale. Ares most recently went swimming, is not very pleased about that fact, is not apparently very good at that, so that's fun. And I suspect that once we got on our gear on the plane, Ares has spent the majority of their time going over weapons and equipment and making sure that they're all in good working order, given that a lot of them did get a drink.
Yes,
most of them shouldn't have. So their own equipment, looking over anyone else's equipment that needs looking at, and generally just taking a full stock of all of the provisions we've been supplied for this trip, because this is a Caduceus plane, so I assume they have given us requisite equipment to get us settled and comfortable in Iceland.
Yeah, you'll have some basics. There'll be what was loaded on earlier. You are departing with haste, so there won't be any specifics. But there's like food, ammunition, all those important things. So sprawled out in the bulk of the plane, you go over your equipment, make sure the guns will go bang and the knives will go stab. All right. Up next, Jackson.
Hey, I'm Jackson, and I spilled coffee all over my shirt 2 minutes ago. So everyone get a good look now, and then we'll move past it, all right? I don't want anyone in chat being like, Jackson spill stuff all over himself at the start of the session. Can we talk about that? No, you can't talk about that now. And I'm playing Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson, who is a doctor, a aviator, and just generally here to help. What else can I say?
No, that's really good. Are you you're an excellent pilot. You're very talented.
Stop.
Aeronautical man. Do you have a bit of, backseat driving? Do you keep on sticking your nose up into the cockpit and just making sure all the buttons going in the right direction?
I would say the opposite, because last time we were on a plane on the way to Borneo, Sam was doing a pretty good job of sitting back and letting the pilot do his thing until he got pulled out of the window by a giant monster. So in fact, Sam wants to be as far away from the pilot as possible in case that happens again, so that he is completely safe and then can step in.
Yeah, all right.
I think that's the smart thing to do.
You're the backup part. In the back of your head, you do just assume that something horrible is going to happen soon, so you just keep checking your watch.
And I'm looking up, is the pilot having the chicken or the fish? The chicken? I'll have the fish, please.
Fantastic. All right, terrific. So that's Dr. Sam. Up next, Jim.
Yes, I am Jim, and I am playing Hubert, the big man with the big heart. Last time I played Distraction while we attempted to break into a warehouse and kind of got caught for it. Now, no one's been able to prove anything yet, and I think we got a pretty good success on trying to set up a cover story, but rumors are still rumors. I like to think that Hubert, when he was leaving his house to get to the airport after picking up everything, stops by the door waiting for the habitual series of phone calls he gets every morning of gossip and things, and they're all just a few minutes late coming. And then when someone does call him up to chat about something halfway through, they're like, oh, I have to go very suddenly, and you can see the bits all falling apart. This house of cards.
I get to sit at the cool kids table. You're gonna be banished. Lunch is gonna be so awkward.
Look, I lunch goes where Hubert does, but the cool kids might eschew it in favor of staying away from me at the time being, since I have the mob and possibly, a weird murderous aid organization on my tail.
These things happen. It'll all come good. All right, terrific. So finally, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Fulham Innocent Claire, Miss Minnie, who has some concerns about the mob and rather a few more concerns about her employer. None of the above being good, actually. But she totally predicted this whole Iceland thing 2 chapters ago. So she is well and truly prepared and has already done all of her homework. Unfortunately, teacher's probably trying to murder her, so she's not going to bring that up.
That's great. You could have gathered some books, some cold weather gear, although you are going in summer, so it won't be too bad, and also a host of pickled fish and similar things to begin to acclimatize people's appetites to what will be expected once you land.
I'm absolutely trying to make everybody eat the smoked fish. It's like dried smoked fish. It's they're just strips of it. Yeah.
I'm to try to decide whether that's if that's something that strays beyond even Hubert's culinary. It might be.
What's funny because it was Minnie the most recently that you put out a rather eclectic brunch, and Minnie was not keen on issuing in favor of the pastries.
Well, this is a cultural delicacy. This is entirely different.
It's cultural. I see. Yes.
I think Aries, being who they are, is energy. Good. Thank you. Just
that's the point of it, right?
It's no worse than trail rations. So
significantly better. I mean, nice smoky flavor.
I'll take one lean across to Sam and say, she is right. There are several cultures upon this.
Fascinating.
So the 4 of you left with haste. At the end of the last session, you basically
I'm not sure that's correct.
Okay.
I'm not sure we did. I don't think we left with haste. I think we left at a nice leisurely place because there's nothing that's going on that's particularly bad right now.
No, we strolled. We were relaxed. It was all good. No, we ran.
Ambled.
You ambled.
Swaggered.
We piss bolted.
Got everyone else piss bolted, and then everyone had to give on waiting at the next corner for Ares, who was moving with a lot more pizzazz. So you did have a few meetings set up that have all been kind of abandoned. You had a morning breakfast / interrogation / possible, extended abduction scene, which you chose to avoid. You also were expected to be flying out to Iceland the following day, and you've kind of rushed all that forward to instead head straight to the airport, rendezvous with your plane, and head out ASAP, especially because Hubert's concerned that word of his infiltration might get back to Cataseus, and there'll be some tough questions, and when possible, just avoid the encounter entirely. I completely agree with that. So, your supplies are a little light. They had pre-stocked the plane with some food and ammunition and things, but you are going across to an aid camp, which has been set up in Iceland for the people are retreating away from this sort of, awakening volcano, as they can then exfiltrate them through planes and boats across the water. So there will be some supplies on ground, but you don't have any specific, there's no like strange weapons or doomsday devices on board, at least not that you can find, Carter, as you go through everything and take stock. All of these things will
good.
be, if they were to be loaded, will be loaded last minute so that, you know, they can be watched rather than left overnight. Your pilot, however, which is a woman called Gunhilda Johansdottir, is nearby, and she is going to be going with you the whole flight. She's going across with you to Dublin, refueling, and then taking you into Iceland because she knows the area, and she's kind of there as a guide slash pilot slash whatever else you need, just general dog's body. And when you arrive, she takes this as a good thing. She thinks that you have, because she was told that you'd be going the day after, and when you go, hey, we want to take off as soon as possible, is that going to be fine? She thinks that's great because she wants to get over there as soon as possible and start to help people actually get out. She's got some family over there. She's very eager to see them. And, you know, with all these rumors of the volcanic activity awakening, sure, the news is saying it's all fine for the moment, and, you know, there's time to evacuate. She's still keen to get on the ground. So the first leg of the flight across to Dublin is without note. You check over your equipment. Carter, all your guns are going to be in working condition. You restock them and pull from some of the supplies that you'd stocked at Hubert's. Minnie goes over some books, double checking some of the...
And asleep.
And a little snooze. That's the other big one. So everyone can go ahead and functionally heal as if you've taken 2 days of rest. So just go ahead and, you know, reset all your numbers, add, what'll that be, 4 hit points.
Is it 2 a night? That's
I think it's 2 a night in pulp. I might have just confidently said that.
I'm going to get back to you on that.
Yeah, please do.
It is 2 a night, I believe.
Excellent. Shoot from the hip. Sometimes you hit. Just be prepared. So, Sam, do you have your flying machine?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd have time to get back and pack it up.
So you live a little bit... Yeah. You live a little bit outside of town, so I guess while everyone else was restocking at Hubert's, I guess you plan to get to the airport. Also, they'd need to actually rally the pilot and things. You drove out at breakneck pace, hauled up the flying machine, and then towed it back in.
I imagine it was already mostly boxed up because I knew when we were leaving. I would have got that done beforehand.
It's that thing where, you're like, in your head, you think you're like 95% packed, and then when you get there, you realize actually that last 5% is about 30. So you're just chucking shit into the boxes. You're like, I'll figure it out when we get there. It's fine.
Guilty.
Jim?
I was possibly me getting a little overexcited, but just based on what happened with the last flight, is it possible that we can do something like run a rope to the doctor's flying machine so that it's like staged, or it's like leading behind like a trailer or something, so that if we get attacked in the air, we can be like, quick, along the rope, and like get or something. I don't know.
You cannot have it coasting along behind you. No.
No. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Unless Dr. Sam wants to fly it, but it's like
I don't think so.
It doesn't have the
much
fuel.
Slower.
It also just doesn't have the capacity to do this.
I think it'd be much slower as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
What you could do is you could preset it up. Like you could have it, assembled. And, I imagine this plane's
we can open the hangar door on the plane and just push it out.
Hold on. Are you suggesting that we can Thunderbirds this shit?
We can Thunderbirds this shit.
We move it into an immediate speed run. We assume that whatever the problem is going to be inside the volcano, and then as we're flying over, we open the door, fly straight forward, firing wildly.
The pilot turns back to deliver the landing monologue and give you something, and you're already gone. The window's just flapping. You guys are flying down into the volcano, dropping bombs as you go.
Because I jammed myself into the door, and something about that collision builds in infinite speed, so I can
exactly.
Glitch straight out.
Yeah.
Is there a bit of paranoia from the four of you as you begin to approach? You can now see the actual the landmass itself rising in the distance. You're beginning to come in for an approach. You look towards the volcano. It's not exactly spewing magma or anything. You can't see any visible activity, and squint, trying to see if there's any small or rather large winged creatures taking flight and spiraling towards you. Yeah.
We should definitely look out the window. I'm not much of a scientist. I don't know.
Intense interest.
Mhm.
And do not worry. I'm just like, oh, is it going to blow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if it's, at what point does preparedness and like considering of tactical advantages become paranoia? Because that's
I think
that's
Ares
Ares'
is way past
thing.
that.
Is just I look out for I assess exits. I look for best vantage points. I will keep an eye out for things that might be attacking us because it's my job. And also maybe people would consider that paranoid. I just consider that, you know.
Also,
making
when these
sure my friends' heads don't get blown off.
yeah, when you keep
I, for
on
one, am
being
very
attacked
excited.
by things, I think it's pretty legitimate. Jackson?
Dr. Sam would be like, I think, keeping an eye on the meteorological environment, because the reason he carts his flying machine over all these places all over the world is because he wants to like find out what it's like to fly in all these places, so he can make the best flying machine he can. So he's probably like looking like what's the weather in this part of the world this time of year? What do I need to watch out for when I get into the air? Iceland has like hot springs. Does that mean they have like geysers and like thermal vents, which would be very helpful for a glider?
Yeah, that'd be sick. You can kill the engines for a little bit and get a free ride. Yeah, that's
What
awesome.
I'm looking out for.
I don't think I'm focused outwards. I think I'm focused internally. I'm a little worried about everything. If I can do a little callback, I think I've pulled out one of my notebooks from the first few sessions, and I've got. I'm on the section about reverse pincer maneuvers, and I've realized that we jammed ourselves completely into this warehouse, and now we're surrounded on either side by the mob and Cataseus, and it's not going well. And I'm like circling things. All my theories were wrong. This wasn't a good idea.
And where did it go wrong? Right at the beginning.
I mean, theoretically, if you assume that the mob is on one side, Deuces on the other, and they're slowly closing in, then a reverse pincer would fuck them both off.
Yes, but
That is not what we did.
No.
Yeah.
Not yet, but
Not yet.
soon.
Yeah, that's
So there's meteorological observers, there's tactician thoughts going on, and then there's Hubert having an existential crisis.
yeah.
Exactly.
There's always got to be
About
something.
lobsters.
It's
I
Hubert's
don't think it's
turn to-
existential. I think it's very immediate. My life's falling apart.
I'm watching it happen. It sucks. It for real sucks. Okay, so as you begin to
Hubert has
coast-
anxiety.
I'm not surprised. As you begin to coast in towards the landing, you can visibly see some of the like. There's kind of like scattered towns. There's quite a lot of villages and things all throughout Iceland, but the actual population's reasonably low. So instead they kind of like stay spread. And that's been part of the difficulty in this evacuation, is just finding everyone, getting them towards exit points. Additionally, there hasn't been like, you know, Pompeii fire spewing through the air yet. So there's also some people going like, I was fucking born here. I'll fucking die here. You can drag me out if you need to. But you are also aware through your Cataseus connections that there have also been like rescue workers that have gone missing and things, so there's definitely more at play. As you come inside, you can see that there are a couple of villages along the side where there are boats pulled up, and it looks like more people are being held there. There are also clear signs of very heavily damaged roads, which are being blockaded earlier on because rocks have sort of tumbled down. There's definitely some sort of seismic activity throughout the region. Gunhilda would actually tell you that you are heading down to a town called Olafsvik, which is very pronounceable, thank God, which is not too far from the volcano, and she actually has a brother that's staying there, and the Cataseus aid camp has been set up a little bit outside of it. As you begin to head down towards it, I'm going to get a few of you to make some rolls. So, Hubert, you're looking internally. Sorry, go ahead.
Could you spell that?
Yeah,
for
sure.
us, please.
It is Olafsvik. And I bet
it's
that
just
means like
Olafvik, isn't it?
Olaf's village or something.
It's just Olafvik.
Do you know pronounce
Is
the
that how
S?
it would be pronounced? Huh.
Olafvik.
No F?
Works for me. There's an F.
think so.
Olafsvik.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like whether the F, S, and V would kind of be combined, which, you know.
It's an economy of
Wikipedia
letters.
has the Icelandic pronunciation.
Do they?
Olafsvik.
Okay.
I think it's I think no.
Olafsvik.
Olafsvik. Emphasis on the
Olafsvik.
O.
Olafvik. Yeah.
I'm going with Alex. She sounded confident.
Oh,
That's how
no.
I
And that is
pronounce
the
it.
most important thing.
Veek. I think it's a longer I sound. Anyway, that was fun.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
I don't think they're actually I don't think they're actually disappearing, but because the emphasis is on the O and the I, they, at conversational speed, it would disappear.
we should just do a quick recap
see.
on the brief because we had a bit of a heist
Yeah, that's small
between
heist.
us getting
Yes, we
briefing
did.
on here, and I'm sure there are some viewers joining us the first time. What are we doing here?
I mean, I wrote down some notes.
Oh, what are your notes?
My
'Cause
notes
I got none.
are hilarious, in as much as stuff and things. So our front is that there is an awakened volcano and we need to evacuate people. The actual mission is that there is a subterranean compound somewhere underneath the volcano with what we can only assume are trolls, the ones with the spiky hair, not the ones from Lord of the Rings. That's how I would like to see them in this
Okay,
world
okay.
because they have been described to us
Troll
as
dolls.
weak. Troll dolls, yeah. So we've got
Yep.
some troll dolls.
Little guys.
There is...
Get me a troll dog wig.
there's a chance that the Inner Night might be around. We've been asked to acquire any artifacts or relics that we find within the area, but more importantly, information. Hubert explicitly has been asked to retrieve a couple of power canisters stored in a calculation machine in the control room. And if we return that to Meadham, we'll get an invitation to his fancy estate.
And adding-
the possibility of maybe,
Although maybe
I
not
don't
now.
know, poisoning the man.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
And adding one more detail, you might have been about to say this, in which case, sorry, but the one other piece of info we have about these trolls is that they seem to have been created by the Serpent people as kind of
Yes.
like foot soldiers.
That's right. We're freeing the troll dolls.
I don't know whether they were foot soldiers.
Revolution!
I think they were more like foot soldiers in the
It's
way
pretty
that
explicitly
goblins.
slave labor is what they're doing
Yeah.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They
Paul
were.
rocks.
They're Igors, but with less personality.
Oh, you don't know. They might have tons of personality. I'm going to name every one of them that you
They
hypothetically
had better
might
have troll
meet.
doll names, Dave. They had better sound like troll
Don't
dolls.
put that
I
on
will
me.
be- I'm fucking gonna.
So, so I guess gathered in the back, Lieutenant Carter goes back over your briefing, and all of that is absolutely correct. Secret facilities, inner night activity, troll dolls, the whole thing. So I'm going to get a few of you to make some rolls as you come inside. So, Dr. Sam, do you want to give me a natural world check, I think, as you survey the region and detect, I guess, optimal flight conditions?
That's
Carter
fair.
and Minnie, are you interested in spot hiddens for the area? I could also, any
I
science
would love
tests?
to.
Does anyone have anything volcano specific? You might want to have a look at that and see if you can get any information.
No, I mean, I could always roll library use as like I'm aware that this is, although when I did this is the early research possibly backfiring, I didn't know it was a volcano thing when I first
that's
saw
right. I mean-
Iceland on the map, which is when I looked into it.
Your library use will have already kind of come in for you will have some just
Yeah.
general information. This is more
I think I already
active,
did that, yeah.
Taking a look at things
Spot
right now.
hidden.
You want to do a spot hidden? Perfect.
Maybe.
Carter, did you have something you wanted to do?
Sorry, I zoned out briefly. Spot hidden for just like general info. I do have.
Unless you want to look for something specific. Study the the villages, the ingresses, the egresses, the volcano.
I mean, yeah, I'd be looking at this from a tactical, especially because we've got currently, if you forgive the expression, a bird's eye view, which we usually have, but not via a plane. So yeah, a little bit of just getting a lay of the land, getting an idea of the layout of the camp of the towns of the volcano from above. I do also have not terrible survival now.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
at least from a perspective of going from this viewpoint, not just tactical, but also how easy is it going to be for us to get around the environment, urban or wilderness, based on what we're seeing from this vantage point.
Yeah, survival's heaps good. I like that very much. Go ahead and give me a survival roll, please.
Okay. All right.
Okay, nice. Got a little slew of information then. So, firstly, Dr. Sam, you're having a look at the general conditions. Now, you are here in summer, so everything is fairly mild comparatively. It's not gonna be like freezing cold or anything, so it's all very survivable. You won't need like, you know, super heavy coats or anything. It's just like, you know, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius. It's all perfectly manageable. And looking at the flying conditions specifically, once you're in the air, there's no problems because there's not a whole lot around, but landing is going to be really difficult. There's like 1 or 2 airstrips you'll be familiar with, one which we are going into, which is like a small, almost like a hobby plane landing strip, and there'll be a larger one. I mean, obviously like Reykjavik and stuff, like the major cities will have more, but around this region, it's very loud on the ground. And then a lot of it is forested or very like covered with craggly bits. There's a couple of sparse open sections, like just, I guess, scrub, effectively, that you think you could land in a pinch, but it's not going to be great. It definitely ranks above North Borneo and Bolivia as far as landability, just because there's much lower, amount of like jungle and woods, but it's still not great. So then for the actual volcano itself, you can see signs of like shifting stone and stuff where it looks as though activity has begun to move plates underneath the earth or whatever to disrupt roads and passages. But there's no sign of immediate activity. Just based off like, the couple of books that Minnie's able to refer you to, it does not look as though this is going to fire in the next moment, and that's possibly what's leading to the delays in evacuation because people might be more familiar with it in the area. However, a catalyst might kick it off, and if there's some sort of evil facility or a bunch of evil snake guys, any number of these things could lead to, quite rapidly, things could get a whole lot worse.
Dave.
Yeah.
Dave.
What's up?
We've been here before. Maybe not with these people. Maybe not with this band of fuckwits. But we've been here before, and I think perhaps, correct me if I'm wrong, one of those catalysts could in fact be a flung piece of dynamite by a young boy who decided to try and pop some balloons.
Look, things happen, and no mistakes were made.
And we may or may not have wiped out an entire frontier town.
There's heaps of them. It's the Wild West.
Hey, readers, check out Stream of Chaos on YouTube to catch up with the previous issue of Shadows of Stillwater.
Well done.
Where it was, in fact,
something like that
the snake
happened.
people again. Goddamn.
Jim?
You're muted, Jim.
Yes, sorry, slightly too slow. I would very quickly like to as well, if I get the time, Dave. I assume that we've got a couple of maps and pieces of equipment here, since we're going to be effectively organizing this evacuation. Yeah. Can I make a navigate check to start trying to get a lie of the land? Specifically, I just want to reverse engineer if I can start to note the places that we're probably going to want to go and explore if we're tracking this area down. For example, if we're ostensibly looking for trolls in this area, if I'm going to find out that there's a forest just near the town that like no one really goes to, I'm just starting to, I want to start trying to get a sense of like where these trolls could have spread to, that sort of thing. Find passages, even just get a sense of the place.
It's probably more playing with a cult at that point, with like local rumors and things. If you're looking for like physically, like, where could they be? Basically, there's a giant volcano and there's forest around it, and the whole area is very sparsely populated, so there's a lot of gray zones where theoretically monsters could be stomping around.
Sure. I have terrible occult. Will you let me make a navigation check to try and give myself a bonus die on an occult check?
What's the if it's just like checking around, the navigation doesn't really come into play, because you can look at maps and see.
Excellent occult. I have really good occult, so you could just
I mention it to you, and I will say, can we try and reverse engineer some locations that they could be hiding? But we can also do this once we get into the team.
That's fine. I mean, this can come. I mean, there's a number of regions. The volcano itself, nothing is built up like sort of along the side of it or anything. So in theory, around there, and if that was where these things were originating from, then they could have spread out through. There's a number of woods and hilly areas where things could be scrounging around. Now, you rolled survival. It was specifically on exit points and like navigating the area, right?
I mean, from where we are currently, I assume I essentially have what would be a like bird's eye view, almost map view of the local area, and It's 3D, so I should be able to get an idea of like elevation. I should be able to get a decent idea of like major landmarks. So like if there's rivers or like copses of trees or, you know, hills or that kind of thing that we can use to orient ourselves. And then like whereabouts the villages are, whereabouts the aid camp is if we can see it from here. Like in kind of essentially being able to create a small map of the area and have an idea of like what are important locations, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I guess the aim with this is if we were to find ourselves navigating this place in the dark or, you know, being chased by horrible monstrosities and needing to make a quick getaway, or even just getting ourselves to places at a reasonable amount of time without freezing to death, that we have essentially some advantage in that area.
Sure. I don't know why any of those things would happen, but yeah. I mean, the region you're in is dotted with small villages. You just need to find your way between them. From your successful roll, you'll note that a lot of the roads have been damaged, so winding your way through those is going to be difficult. If you were actually coming here as just exclusively a legitimate aid operation and looking to exfiltrate as many people as possible, you are woefully understaffed. You would do this with numbers. You would just send in shitloads of people. You would scatter out, get the word out. You'd be concerned that people just don't even know what's happening, first of all. And then you'd start to rally them at points. And that is what they're doing. They're beginning to send everyone towards the village of Stikissolmer, which is up near the edge, which you are not heading towards. And then from there, boats are taking people out and away. So if you come across villages that haven't gotten the word, you can begin to send them that way. Your priorities are a few steps up and above, and you're kind of, you know, dealing with the potential catalyst and dealing with the presence of the inner night. And from there, where you are landing is not going to be too far from the volcano. It'll be kind of constantly in your field of view. So finding that'll be easy enough. And I will say with that success, though, you can take a bonus on finding your way back towards, say, the, you know, that small village and also the landing strip where the plane will be stowed as well, if necessary, should something horrible happen, should night fall and should you all be attacked in the dark.
In great danger.
Nah.
Are we at any point flying over this volcano, or is that like we're coming into land and we'll be able to see it, but we don't actually get a good view of the volcano itself at this point?
No, you won't be able to see too much. You are landing coming into night, so the view's a little bit spotty, dark. The intent is not to fly directly over it, although you could request to if you wanted. You could try and...
No, I think that's unless Miss Sinclair or wants to get a better idea of what's happening with the volcano, but it sounds like we have one. And I am taking the assumption that this specific pilot does not seem to be aware of our secondary objective.
No. So she has been...
Is she not a member of Caduceus?
She is with Caduceus, but she is lower rung than the four of you. She is not aware of your supernatural experience, and so she actually
thinks she's part of an aid organization.
Well, she is technically as are you, but she's not aware of the...
All right, Dave.
Yes, that's right. No, she believes that she is basically ferrying in experts, and she is to serve as guide and, you know, general aid. So no, she's not aware of the supernatural nature of it.
Okay, in that case, yeah, I don't think it's necessary to ask them to do a loop of the volcano unless we have a good scientific reason to do so.
Okay.
And it may in fact be detrimental if they spot something weird.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want that. Okay, so after peeking out the windows for a little while, and then as the sun has set a little bit ago, you are making your actual approach. Gunhilda, who is a sort of woman in her 50s or so, with two twin braids running along her shoulders, has raised a radio set over her head and muffled through the security door, not security door, just pilot's cockpit. You can hear her beginning to speak to the landing team as she begins to coordinate your landing. She will communicate all this in Icelandic, which none of you speak, although Minnie kind of procured a, very basic dictionary translation. Dictionary.
Is this the
no, it's going to be the Hungarian Monty Python sketch.
Oh no.
My helicopter. Did you want to ask something, Jackson?
It's full
Oh,
of
it-
ears.
Icelandic is a Germanic language. If anyone has over 50 in German, do they have
No.
10 points in
Yeah,
Icelandic?
yeah, sure. If it is a Germanic
No.
language, I've going off.
I do not.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have Malay and Knuckle.
Is it
That's all you
a
need.
snake language? Do I get 10% from that?
Is it snake based?
It does not appear to be
Nah.
snake based.
Narkal comes from the Sanskrit originally, I think. You know,
Yeah.
You hear her.
Sanskrit comes from.
You hear her speaking in Icelandic for a little bit, and then she swaps over to talking in Danish, which is the second most commonly spoken language in the area. And then after a bit, the plane begins to actually lower down and head in towards a small landing strip, which she targets. As she goes down, she's going to call back towards the four of you. And she says, I've gotten no response from the landing team, but it's simple enough. I've done it before. I'm going to bring us down now, but just keep an eye out. And if I could have someone up here to assist me, that'd be good.
I reckon that'll be me. Happy
Okay.
to lend a hand.
Hold one second. You said you don't. No response from the landing team.
No response from the landing team, but we're coming in late and we weren't scheduled to arrive until tomorrow. There's likely just no one on site.
Very well.
Sam
Yes,
pushes
of course.
forward
I'm sure
towards...
it's a completely normal reason, and is just gonna just
Yeah, I'm gonna start like clipping
yeah,
on
and, like-
backpacks and like getting everything.
yeah. We're getting ready
Get
to
your
like
gun out.
yeah, basically.
Hubert
Like,
and Minnie
yeah, no,
put
totally,
all
he's
of
fine.
Hubert and Minnie put all of their points into dramatic irony. You know, breaking the fourth wall, understanding literary conventions.
I mean,
no,
also,
the
you guys
No,
have
this has
been
literally
on
happened to us
events.
before.
It just keeps happening. Horrible things happen to you. You are well
Yes.
aware
It's happening.
of lizard people out in here and, you know, doing horrible things. I think there probably is a level of like,
the
well, we knew it
last
was going to
time-
happen. Here we go.
The last time we came in for landing, we got attacked by the flying things with tails.
Exactly.
And then as we're coming in for landing,
noodles.
it's like, we haven't got any response to the
There's no
ground
one on the
here.
radio.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah, because it's always nothing.
I, as just a person, if like we go
Yeah.
through a tiny bit of turbulence, I'm like, that's it, we're all dead.
Same. I think absolutely like if there are parachutes, I'm probably going to
Yeah.
clip one of those on and grab us
Oh, yeah.
there on the off chance I have to yeet Sam out of a plane.
Again.
You
I
guys are
make
all...
my peace with God.
Sam heads towards the front and sits down into the co-pilot seat. She will pass you the radio and the headset, and she says they'll speak English. Just try and get a hold of someone. There's notes next to the bands which you can swap through to try and recalibrate. See if you can get in touch with anyone, and just keep an eye out. Meanwhile, just in the back, outside of her field of view, there's like, you know, parachutes being strapped on. You've got enough provisions to survive 3 days in the wilderness. Minnie's going
Guns
over
being
her
loaded.
Narcal translations and preparing to commune with the gods above as necessary.
I'm getting my Dreamlands brain ready.
Get your eyes roll back. Goodhilda is thankfully unaware of any of this. The plane lowers and begins to come in for landing. Dr. Sam, do you want to try and give me an electrical repair or a similar role to...
Oh, surely not. I'm not repairing anything. I'm just using the radio.
That's right, but as you go
I
across
argue
it, it
that's
does not appear
that's
to be picking anything up.
Oh, so like, am I thinking there's something wrong with the radio?
Or you could try. You could try and electrical. You have like pulp abilities. You could be trying to like, you know, I'm gonna juice this puppy up and get us 3 extra
my.
bands of good stuff.
Because the other option is that if you want to argue this, it would be the specialist skill operate radio, which I think is a
Is that a thing?
Is there one? I
it's-
didn't know that one.
Well, I was going to
Yeah.
argue. I was going to like argue a pilot role because that's the thing you need to do as a pilot.
Yeah, sure. You just and that's just knowing. Yeah, 100%. That works for me.
You know, it's not a hard pilot role, is it?
No.
Great, pilot. Yeah. Never mind. It is a hard pilot role. I'll take it.
So as the plane begins to lower down, you can see twin lights cut on underneath the body, and they pick up the runway in the distance. In the now quite dark, you can pick up a number of like reflective, almost cat's eyes along the side. You can see the little wind thing that's flapping in the distance, and there is off towards the side one of those large hemispherical warehouses where planes would be stored, and there's a couple of small buildings dotted about. There's no sign of movement coming and going, and there are also no lights on inside. You put the headset on and begin to go through the bands that are suggested, and each time you'll give them a quick hello, coming in for a landing, this is number 799er, can we get a mayday? And no response at any point. Appears to be completely stripped. However, eventually you get across to a channel, which is one of the other landing points, and you will get a response from there.
Yeah, gotcha.
So the actual machine is working fine. There is just no one picking up on the other side.
Can I ask them?
You can. So you'll get in touch. These are the ones that are coordinating the much larger landing point, which is several 100 kilometers in the other direction, maybe 10.
So I just say we're coming in to land in Olasvik. I'm not getting any reply from the controllers down here. Have you heard anything from recently?
In sort of halting English, you'll get, we've heard nothing recently. There should be staff on site. We suggest you circle around and try them again.
We tried all the channels. Look, we'll keep trying, and just so you know, we might have to come in with unsupported landing here. We'll have a look around the ground, and we'll let you know if what we find.
He'll say, hold just a moment, and as you're beginning to sort of there's a bump of turbulence, and Gunhilda is focused on the tarmac now coming towards you. He'll begin to spew out.
I'll tell her, have a go around. They want us to have a go around. Wait a bit longer.
She looks across at you, and you can see that she is a little nervous at this point. She clutches at something like an amulet or medallion around her neck, and then looks towards the ground again. And she says, there's been people going missing. My brother works in the station. I'd like to get down as soon as possible.
Oh, no, definitely. Just one go around. I think, let's just see what we can find out before we touch down.
She nods and will pull back on the levers again, and it rises up and begins to turn in the air, making one large, slow loop before coming back into an approach. Now, the team that you've gotten in contact with can feed you some information like wind, head speeds, yada, 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 basically assist you with the landing here. They're effectively kind of guesstimating from this distance. They don't say anything over the radio, but you do get the... there should certainly be someone down here awaiting your arrival. There would always be staff on site, and especially as they are evacuating people. He will mention, probably just as an explanation for it, that they may have begun to ferry people out of there. He understands that there is an aid organization on site helping to move folks. They might have just been needed elsewhere. They're sure it's fine, but with this information, you should be able to safely land. And with that, you'll begin to lower again. Now, as you begin to move down, Carter, Smith, and Minnie have also strapped on some equipment and are looking out the sides. Can I get all three of you to make spot hidden rolls, please, as the wheels lower and the descent is almost completed? Oh, well done.
I did think that...
Minnie put her glasses back on.
As our pilot was reaching towards her amulet, if she's going to look back to make sure that we're in good positions for anything going wrong,
and
just
ready.
sees just how prepped we are.
Just state of readiness.
Okay, well done.
Couple of successes
we've got
Wow.
the spread of it. So first of all, just on a success, there is no sign of any lights on, but you can see that a number of doors are open. It looks like things were left sort of halfway through. As the wheels touch down, there's a shake of everything, and the plane begins to slow. Hubert, on a hard success, you will notice that one of the doors actually looks to be splintered, the one that leads into the, coordination tower where the radio would be hosted and people would be able to talk back and forth. It looks like it's been knocked inside. And Minnie, on an extreme, you notice that just behind the warehouse, at first you thought it was just the terrain rising up behind it. There is something quite large silhouetted along its profile that is looming just behind the warehouse. Completely unmoving, you cast your eye across it 2 times before suddenly it shifts, lowers, and begins to lurch around the side of the whole thing. You're the only one that spots this.
My God.
Back up. Oh, God.
Is it a sanity check?
So far, it's just a large silhouetted thing. Minnie is seen worse for the moment.
Whack, with staring out the window, I'm gonna whack Ares and Hubert. There's a big thing behind the warehouse, big thing.
Well,
Can we get this thing back in the air?
It's already begun to slow at this point. The brakes would need to come back around. Gunhilda turns around and says, "No, we can turn it around. I'm gonna need a moment though. We also need to refuel."
We
Do it quick and get out of here.
We're gonna have to land, and this is what we're here for. I'm trying to whisper this so I don't alert from Hilda.
No, she's got to get out of here.
Yeah, but let's try and spot somewhere that we're gonna go to stay alive, cover or something.
The plane is taxiing now towards the warehouses, which is where they will be stowed. She's beginning to bring around and point in that direction. Minnie makes her way forward towards the cockpit.
Scramble up to the cockpit. Not the warehouses. I'm sorry, it looks like there might have been a problem. Turn it around and don't park at the warehouses and get out of here as soon as you can. We're going to jump as soon as we can.
All right. Well, yep. Let's finish landing.
Where is everyone? These doors look like they've been broken open.
Do not go into the warehouse, please.
Let's
stop taxiing in that direction, please.
Bring it to a stop. Let's taxi for a takeoff, so we're facing the right way. And
she begins to sort of move it around. Now, this thing does not have a lot of fuel in it. It will need to be responded. It won't have a long lifespan in the air.
It can get to literally anywhere except here.
Minnie, you're slightly concerned because that thing is no longer behind the warehouse. You cannot pick it up anymore. The silhouette has moved.
Basically going to grab Sam by the back of the shirt collar and drag him back to the others. Can we just? How fast is the plane taxiing? Is it pretty slow?
Not very. They're not exactly quick vehicles.
What did you see exactly?
Look out the window. Everybody take a window. I can't see it anymore. It's like when you lose a huntsman in your bedroom.
I suspect
like,
we might
You've also,
want
your
to
night
get
vision
out.
is kind of
We need to get out
compromised with
as
the
soon
lights
as
on the
this-
interior.
Turn the lights off, Brynhild. Lights are off, please.
Lights off. I need to see where I'm going.
Just the inside lights, the interior lights.
Big interior lights.
Let's keep the outside lights on, interior lights off.
You can hear a quiver of nervousness now, and she reaches up and flicks a couple of switches, and
Thank
suddenly
you.
the whole interior plunges into darkness. The lights on the underside are still on, however, and are casting across the tarmac as she begins to turn it around.
We want to be able to see out.
The whole thing swings
as long as
around.
It doesn't know exactly where we are inside.
As the plane rotates to reposition, and as it goes across the small booth that would host the radio and things, you can see clearly now the door has been splintered inwards. One of the chairs has been thrown aside. You can see glass has been shattered.
Good.
And Gunhilda clearly sees this as well. She says, "What the hell's happening? This looks like this place was
know.
attacked."
Exactly. So we're going to get out
may.
as soon as this stops, and you are going to go. And as soon as you can, you just go. I know you don't have much fuel left. Get to wherever you can.
All of you can clearly hear a groan of what sounds like metal being bent, and then a shriek as it tears somewhere in the distance, presumably still behind the warehouse. There's a rumble or something, and you all think you can actually feel for a moment along the ground as the plane actually shakes somewhat, the tips of the wings vibrating in the air. It continues its path, so you're no longer seeing the radio station, and at this point, I'll ask everyone looking out the windows to give me a spot hidden roll.
Do you all need me? Because otherwise, I'm inclined to look at the fuel gauge, crunch the numbers, and then look at the map to find the next nearest landing strip.
Yeah, I might also not make a spot hidden check. Could I make a persuade check to try and calm down?
Oh yeah,
Brumhilda.
Gunhilda?
I'm spending
Gunhilda.
luck on that one.
Sorry.
I would say it's
Gunhilda.
probably more charm, Hubert, is what I actually no persuades fine if
way.
you're going sort of like a this is your job, like keep it together for timing. Charm is more like, hey, everything's fine, we've got this. Just like it just depends on your strategy. If you're going for friendly, if you're going for like professional as a professional courtesy, don't kill us, get this fucking plane in the air.
Yeah, I think it's not so much everything's fine, it's okay, because it's pretty clear that something's not, and then once something jumps out at us,
I don't think the plane's taking off with us in it. I think we're getting out of the plane. This is where we're meant to be. This is our job.
I am
want her
considering
out.
at this point that no, I think perhaps we go to, because there was another airstrip a couple of kilometers away. We've got fuel to get there.
It's a good chunk across. That's the major one that Sam was communicating with. There is supposedly another hobby plane, one not too far from here, but Sam, you picked nothing up on the radio from that one either when you tried it, or just as you were scrambling.
That's okay. I prefer an airstrip with no radio and no monsters to an airstrip with a radio and one or more monsters.
Yeah.
So is that a navigate so that I can like get a feel for the fuel and for where we can get to?
Okay. So you're gonna so Hubert, you're talking to Gunhilda. Dr. Sam, you're still in the cockpit. You like crouch down and unfurl a map underneath the effectively like the dash or whatever, and then with a small torch you click it on, and you're like trying to look over it in the night. The only thing you can see now is this map in front of you. As you scroll a finger along it, begin to run calculations, tap the fuel gauge, and figure out where you might be able to land. Navigation, absolutely. Minnie, you're scanning the outside, and Carter.
I lucked that.
So
into
that's
a
a success. Nice. Carter, what are you doing?
So we have a success on spot hidden if we need it. If you want to do something else.
I don't really have anything explicitly that I can do right now.
Well,
what I would
you
be
can just
doing
be
is
ready
telling people what to do. That's my job.
You can get your gun ready so that you get a extra shot off if we need it.
You could assist Minnie on the spot hidden if you want to. Or Dr. Sam on the navigate, or Hubert on the
Genuinely,
I will assist Sam on the navigate because I have navigate. So I will give Sam assistance on crunching those numbers.
The cockpit's getting pretty crowded with Carter and Sam on one side pouring over, and Hubert standing in the doorway trying to like comfort Gunhilda. Minnie is the only one now sprinting back and forth in the body of the plane. It's like trying to move around the stowed flying machine as you look out both sides, swing your vision, just try and catch any sight of this thing.
Is a hard gonna get me more?
A hard will get you more.
I'm gonna burn some fucking luck on this because I do not want to be ambushed by something that size.
Okay.
Also, Minnie, just for narrative, you can get a better view from the cockpit. Come up here. Let's squeeze
No.
it. No, you can't see shit from the cockpit.
Minnie just like in the corner.
So, Dr. Sam, how did you go? So, that's going to be a success. Sam, how did you go on the navigate? Go ahead and take
Regular
a bonus
success.
dice on that because Carter's going to assist you.
Is that going to help? I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bonus die. Hup. Nope, that's fine. But thank you.
Okay.
Regular success.
So there is another landing strip. It's across the other side of the volcano that you could make it to on your current fuel. And you're still, that's like digging into, you had enough. That's like digging into the reserves. You could also probably make it to the major base. It'll just be a piloting role to like, make sure you come in smoothly and probably you'd want to get in contact with the team to make sure that you can land as soon as possible. The other option is you could just try and take off and land in scrub or something. You'd bust up the tires and the landing wouldn't be clean, but that would be your third option to just get out of here. There's somewhere else you could probably go. Basically, you think you have a couple options.
I would recommend we get to the major port if we can, a major airstrip, because we can always rent vehicles and drive if we need to back out to where we need to be. It does make it a little bit harder to leave again, but I would like to put some distance between us and beasts and things what are removing people from towns. If we haven't received any notes from anywhere else, people is probably a good idea.
As you
I don't know how much.
Go ahead. No.
Well, I don't know how much thought you've put into this, Dave, or if you're just making it up. I'm looking at a map of Iceland and the area we're in, and I can see Olafsvik, and I can see the mountain.
It would be on the other side.
Where can we go?
You could land in Scrub, or you could go across the other side to like that Helena mode one.
So there's a minor airstrip in Helena.
Right. These are all like
Stapi.
puddle jumpers and things. Yeah.
And what's the major airstrip we were talking about?
It's a ways. It will be off that map that you've shown there. It's further up.
You mean like Reykjavik?
No. It's called Stykkishólmur.
How do you spell that?
Stykkishólmur.
Got it. This is riveting content, everybody.
Oh yeah, we love to look at.
Jackson has Google Maps open and is looking at a map of actual Iceland.
I do have a map as well, but I can upload into the thing.
Could you drop it in Roll20 and we can show the viewers?
I'll work, and I should have done it already.
All right, chat. Post your favorite Icelandic town.
as you pull this over, you think you have a couple of notes. When Minnie, with a success, you can spot...
With a hard thank you very much. I loved that right the way down.
Noted. With the success, what you spot is you get to one of the windows, and you've got the best night vision at the moment. You can see caught in the moon. Suddenly there is something hurled towards you as a torn sheet of the warehouse's roof is flung through the air and comes spiraling towards the plane. And with the hard success, you can see a huge hulking figure now bathed in moonlight. Its craggy back has like moss and thick stone plating all around it. This thing is massive, larger than any elephant you've seen, any of the other creatures you've experienced, and it's has like disproportion. It has like a large barrel-shaped body, and then these huge, long, spindly legs, and large, like quite bulky, but like almost short proportionately arms, as it has thrown something
T-Rex
towards you
arms.
and is now stepping over the warehouse and sprinting towards you. It's probably not sprinting, it's more like a huge lumbering charge that closes the distance.
Bryce, Ares, we need you.
It is going to make a chuck. And
It's gonna hit.
and I'm gonna need a sanity roll from you, Minnie, as you spot
But did
this.
that give me enough time to like tell everybody to brace and hopefully
Yes.
give some bonuses and
100%. You yell out
Bryce,
to
it's
everyone.
too late.
Go ahead and give me a sanity roll.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
all right. That is going to be. Oops, don't have it open.
Oh no,
That's my
failing
big
on
boy.
a bloody 90, the worst.
That's a D8.
Of course it is. Of course
God.
it is.
As you see this huge thing come lumbering towards you, the sheet of metal is thrown
Oh,
through
of course
the
it
air.
is. Of course it is.
Holy fuck. Slams into the side of the plane. You yell brace as you are thrown across the side. I need everyone to give me, let's just do straight, I think strength rolls. Or strength or dex. Did you either grab onto something or try and avoid being thrown across? Minnie, can you please make an intelligence roll?
Good thing I am book smart.
Dave, could I
Oh,
argue my...
That's very funny.
This is how we want this to go, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
This is great. This is good fun.
Dave, could I argue
This is
that
a troll. This is a troll. This is a troll.
My
This is an
pulp
actual
talent?
troll out of the fairy tale books. It is a troll and it hates us.
Hubert, yeah, what do you want to argue, sorry?
can I
Feed
do
the goat.
my pulp talent is going to give me a bonus die on this strength thing, so it's just staying up from a large impact, and it's about kind of combat maneuvers keeping me up, or not in this case.
Yeah, that's I'm fine
Excellent.
with that.
Do I at least get to give everybody bonuses on these checks because I was able to give a brief heads up about Bryce?
Everyone's making these rolls. That is definitely, you have
Okay.
called out. Everyone's getting a chance to kind of dive for cover, get out of the way.
Sorry, is it strength for everybody?
Strength or dex?
Of course, of course,
choice.
of course. Great, good
Strength
fun.
or
Good fun.
dex?
Doing
I mean,
good.
if you can roll
Having fun.
2d10 for us,
Great,
and we'll keep
awesome.
those separate.
Maybe it's good that you fell over, Minnie, because if you're about to get the violence bout of madness and start attacking
I need
us,
to
it'd be
roll for
good if you're on the ground.
I need to roll for my friend too. Then a memento.
Oh, okay, a 1 and a 10.
Oh shit. Okay, well you're. Okay, she did it right. All right, everyone that failed is going to take a d3 of damage.
And everyone who got an extreme success.
Is gonna. Oh, dude, well done. You are fine. You're able to brace. You probably throw an arm up across, and that's probably what helps Gunhilda as well, who seems capable enough, but it stops her from getting thrown out of the seat. Now,
Great.
we're gonna go to dexterity order from here on out. What has happened is the huge chunk of metal has been thrown across. Minnie, you scream like brace, 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 and as you dart away from it, you catch sight of this thing standing in the moonlight. It slams into one of the wings. It should be noted, it has not done critical damage to the plane. It could possibly still take off. It just needs to get moving. And this thing is now closing the distance towards all of you. Art?
Also, I'm probably crazy.
Oh, you're absolutely crazy.
Does our like heavy leather jackety things apply to negating this damage?
Probably not this one. This one's more just brunt being thrown around the area.
Cool. Does my innate help?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think it would.
Right.
Your
So
snake
in that
I
bit.
take
case-
it back. The heavy leather jackets would apply. Slap them both on.
Great.
I got the numbers
In that
easy.
case, I don't lose any health, and given that I am
Okay, hell of you.
not far off being on half health, that's a
Oh.
good thing.
Is it
I am-
it's no damage on a success? Just confirming.
That's right. You are all gravy. Okay. So
Heavy leather
can I get
jacket, huh?
immediately everyone to make dexterity rolls as we'll run this out?
And just for those D10s, it was a 1 and a 10,
Noted. Thank you.
which is my madness. And number of rounds, I assume.
Oh god, 10 rounds of baby. Is what?
Well,
if you've gotten the
depends on which
reverse.
order.
Yeah, because the other one would mean
1
Yeah.
round, number 10, yeah.
one cool piece of advice that I think Dave gave me as a keeper and used in something, so I'll spread it along, is if you start to know what all the results are when you're rolling bouts of madness, so that you have this D10, you know what a 0, a 1, and a 2 is, roll a random D10 at the start and add it, basically, so that you can just sort of randomize that a bit more and make it more exciting, but still get consistency within an individual game.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Does
So
Hilda need an initiative roll?
yes, I will do one for her because that might be the exit plan. All right, here she goes.
Good. So I'm acting quickly and I'm crazy.
We love that. So who got a regular, please?
Everyone
I've done the work
except
for
Hubert.
you.
Everyone, and Hubert, what did you get? Oh, you have. You champion. Thank you.
Oh, it's keeping track.
I love that. Hubert and the monster. Everyone else.
Monster.
All right. So, Art, you are going to be first. With that in mind, you have the highest dexterity. So as the plane buckles and is thrown to the side for a moment, the whole thing, like you hear the scrape and scream of metal. The four of you are all quite up in the cockpit. Your night vision is shot to shit from looking down at the map, and for the moment you can't see anything on the outside. You can stumble towards the back and try and take a look out, or what would you like to do?
Okay.
We're our options are
Are
wait
we-
until the plane
whatever
gets
you
near
wanna
or
do.
bugger off.
Can we all act at the same time on since we all got the success, or?
Oh yeah, you're on the
Or
success
do
as
we-
well. Yeah, you can divide mine. I was just throwing it out because I've got the highest dex. But if
I
someone else
think
wants
you
to
guys
go
should get your
first,
shit out of the way before I go crazy,
Okay.
because that's going to be the first thing I do.
So my plan, until I'm going to say what my plan is, and I'm going to do it unless someone stops me. I'm going to sit down in the pilot seat, say my plane, which is what they say in Sully when he's like taking
when
the
they
control
take it
base,
over,
my
hell
plane.
yeah.
And then like I'm going to think to myself, that impacts what is likely to be damaged. Can I still take off? I'm going to start taking off, but as I go, I'm like testing all the controls, seeing what's damaged. Like I'm seeing if I can tell from the pilot seat what's damaged and how likely I'd be able to take off. Does that
Okay,
make
awesome.
sense?
Yeah, give me a piloting roll as you begin to try and move this thing around and get it back up and into the air.
It's an entirely sensible thing to do. I am slightly sad that you didn't yell deploy fighters and jump in the other plane.
Take it up. Okay. With the success, what I'll say is you can relieve Gunhilda from this. She'd know that you have some capability. You've spoken to her a bit as you were landing. And with the success, you can tell that the left wing is quite badly damaged. And once you're actually in the air, it's going to be difficult to fly, but it can get up, at least for the time being.
All right.
You can begin to throttle forward. One of you, I imagine, are you looking back towards the creatures coming, or is everyone plugging their ears and looking down at the ground?
So
No.
I'm telling Ares what I'm doing, and I'm also
Yeah.
telling Ares, damage left wing, I think we can get in the air, but it's going to be difficult, and I'm trusting Ares to make the decision and tell me to abort the landing or abort the takeoff or take off.
Great. In that case, I will without looking, I will pull the rifle out and take. Do we have like hatches, things like windows that we can open in this plane, or is it a case of like it is entirely enclosed?
You can probably get there'd be one in the front in the cockpit that can open up like sideways. The other ones are hard built into this, and you can't get, or you can get all the way at the back. So you can lower the hatch that you load shit into. There's a couple of side doors that can open, and there's one hatch that opens and closes in the cockpit that you can try and go up and around.
I will go towards, I guess, the back.
Yeah, it's following us.
Yeah. And I can pull out a rifle, aim it in the vague direction of where this thing might be. And I'm going to say, shocks away, Sam.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you shoulder the rifle,
Fly.
throw yourself back and head towards the rear. You lower, you like hit a button on the thing and the hatch begins to lower towards the back so that you can see out towards it. And now you can clearly make out the silhouette of this figure is beginning to sort of lurch forward. Now, because you have seen it, you'll also immediately be able to yell out to Sam, it's gaining on us. At its current rate, it will catch you before you're able to get into the sky. It is going to need to be slowed down in some way. Can I also get you to make a sanity roll as you see the creature and it continues to lunge towards you?
Do I have an opportunity to, if I don't fire or do anything else this round, do I have an opportunity to secure myself to something?
Yeah.
To ensure that I don't just fall immediately out of the plane.
You genuinely were talking about like parachuting your eyes and things. As you get it forward, you can like grab one of the seat belts on the seat, rip off one of the stratches, and just clip it in so that you can't go too much too far from
fantastic.
here. Yep.
All right, let's see how mad I go.
Woohoo. Okay, only one
Success.
point.
Lovely.
So you're able to strap yourself in, aim the thing, and you can see this thing is now continuing to gain on you. Up next is going to be Minnie. Now, Minnie, I've just sent you a message with a summary. We're also doing something which I haven't done previously, mostly because I forgot, which is that there are insane talents in Pulp Cthulhu where when you go mad, you get some like extra ability. Actually, we did do it because I think Hubert used it against the snake he was wrestling in the very first one. Anyway, Minnie, that basically gives you like an extra tool you can use while you are in your maddened state. It's up to you how you want to apply it, and you still have, I leave it to you. What would you like to do?
Wax. I haven't whispered before. Nice, good.
Yes, basically. You just yeah, that's right.
Okay. So it's not just limited to the talent. It's the whole shebang.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Vinny is going to shriek and drop underneath one of the seats and basically just fetal position it.
Okay, all right. So as Carter comes past, you yell, hit down, and roll under the seat. From down here, you're able to see Carter hit the button that lowers the hatch towards the rear, and now you can see this thing from the position you're in, looking right out as it lumbers towards you. And you yell again, put your arms around your ears, and look down into the ground and hope that as soon as possible it goes away, yelling all the while. It's going to be difficult for you to get hit, and it's going to be easier for resisting any extra damage that's done to the plane.
Yeah, sure. Unless I decide to make another choice.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless I decide it's better off Minnie out.
Well, for the time being, what would you like to do?
For the time being, I'm here because the doors were shut.
Okay, noted. All right, the doors begin to lower now, and you throw yourself in, and you begin to run up the numbers and see if maybe there's a better option. Gunhilda she will basically swap with you, Sam, and give you control. She also gets towards, as she's swapping over, she looks behind, sees the doors swinging open, and freezes in the entrance for a moment, raises her hand and begins to point at the thing behind and says, "What is that?" And then she says, "Troll. It's a troll. They're real. It's a troll." I'm going to give her a little sanity.
Will my persuade give her any kind of bonus here that I did try to calm her down?
Did you succeed? You succeeded, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I will give her a bonus.
Yes.
Which might help. Doesn't work.
Every time.
And still a failure, unfortunately. So... straight into it. Get amongst it. Yeah! She looks at it, begins to stammer at it, yell she's not doing anything momentarily, and I will roll for her result afterwards. So, Hubert, with your success, you will also see her beginning to break down as she points out towards it, and she's talking in rapid Icelandic now, but you would recognize the word troll amongst it as she quivers and points her hand towards it.
Come join me, Brunhilde. Come sit next to me.
It's very comfortable.
We have the insane effect. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Hubert, it's your turn.
Yeah, so as soon as Minnie said that little throwaway line, "I'm not doing anything because the doors are currently," I want to immediately change what I was doing, but I'm holding true to the idea that was
Alex. No, that was Alex saying that, not Minnie.
Yes, sorry, you're totally right. Yeah, so I'm holding true to the idea I had, which I now realize is going to be really, really bad. But Hubert thinks we've got to go faster, we've got to lose some weight. So I would like to get the doors open, and I wanted to start like unclipping boxes and like sending stuff out to try and get us faster and faster. So we can back up. No, if you yell stop, I will stop.
I mean, if you're getting rid of boxes, would be supplies.
Oh yeah, but I'm thinking if this thing just catches us, it's going to hit us.
So what's better than that thing eating you?
Supplies don't matter if we get caught.
I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough. But also, I'd like the back hatch is open, so you wouldn't need to throw open any more doors.
Sure,
you certainly yeet crates of supplies out. Although, actually, If you go to start looking for stuff and supplies, I might turn around and be like, Mr. Smith, can you find me a net?
Do my best. Yeah, sure.
Something of that effect.
Are you looking for a net?
Yeah, just like, well, actually, if everything was like, if we had boxes, if this is a cargo plane, they're very likely
be under a net.
secured under strapping or netting.
Yeah, I mean, that is what's securing them.
Yeah, could I
You might get two things. It will A, send shit flying out, and B, get a net.
And if maybe I can send one of the things flying out and slam straight into this thing.
Okay, so you want to grab some netting? Is that the idea?
Yes, I start tearing the netting that is securing the stuff in the plane off.
Okay, noted. All right, you head across and just give me a strength roll, Jim, as you just reach out and just wrench it back and pop this thing off the hinges that hold it in place. Easy done. You have quite a large net, and it's heavy, thick braided cable because it hold these supplies in place. And as you haul them back, boxes begin to tumble down and slide across the rears, and then actually drop down onto the tarmac behind you. Can you now give me a luck roll as they begin to fold away?
Fantastic. There's your extra speed, and I can't believe it. I had 0 luck at the start of this session and still managed to succeed.
One hits one of the things, and for a moment it stumbles, slowed down as a crate of cans or something of medical supplies gets scattered across. It lumbers to a halt, and it does not gain on you for the time being. All right, well done. You have the net. You can hand it across on your own time. Now that is your turn. Next up is going to be the big boy. So he stumbles for a moment, caught by some of the crates that Hubert has released. But then one of the hands drops down, and this whole thing moves into this weird spider crawl run as its hand drags along the ground. You can see thick stone-like nails actually picking up bits of like gravel, tar, and everything else, as well as some of the supplies you've had. And then he rears back and then throws it like shrapnel into the plane, which is now lowered down the rear hatch. It's going to make a throw roll. And Hubert and Carter, you're the two that are going to be in the line of fire where you presently are. However, it's not enough as it goes, like, fires in, scatters along the inside, there's ricocheting and stuff. You get dinged by a couple of cans, but it's not enough to do any significant damage.
Also, Dave, I didn't make a sanity check. I know I wasn't explicitly looking at the creature, so maybe as I see that I hit it, I'm like, oh, notice it, yeah.
Hell yeah,
Can't
D8 please.
Checks. Can't luck sanity checks.
Oh, we're getting heaps this time.
I wish you could luck sanity checks.
You can in pulp.
You can in pulp?
Yeah,
you know what? I don't want to.
No, you can like temporarily do it.
You can use it to reduce sanity loss. You spend double luck for half sanity.
D8
so if you wanted to spend 14 points of luck, you could reduce that to a 4.
D8
or
boy.
you could join me.
D8
join
boy.
Me. Join me. Join me.
You got 7. Roll it in.
Join me.
You're the difference between being less than half the people in this plane being temporarily mad and more than half of the people in this plane being temporarily mad.
14 points of luck.
Oh, come on, join me in Crazy Town. But it's fine.
If you don't want to spend the luck, don't spend the it's.
Going mad is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's fun for you. It's not fun for everyone else in the plane, is it?
Well, not if we all go mad.
So you spend 14 points of luck, and that reduces it by half down to a 3-point hit.
Wouldn't it be 4?
Round it down.
Round it up or round it down?
Right, we'll round it up. We'll round it up. I think that's the standard. That still gets you underneath the buffer. So you'll take 4 points, Jim, for 14 points of luck, which you do not have a ton of, but that will mean you do not go into a bout of madness. So you're able to steel yourself and continue to chuck content towards them. All right. Fantastic round, everyone. Good hustle. We go now to round 2. Minnie, you can mark that off your 10. And at the top of this, Gunhilda yells and sprints for one of the hatches towards the side and wrenches it open, and she is moving to throw her ass out of the plane.
What?
Okay.
That's where the monster is.
She is in a bout of madness. She's trying to escape.
Yeah, she has the flea one.
But escape where?
This is why you wanted the
hell out of this plane.
Surely she wants to get away from the monster, though.
She does. She is not rational at the moment.
Dear.
Dr. Sam, what would you like to do? You can continue. So it's Sam and Ares, and we'll go to Minnie. And I am putting Gunhilda underneath you. I'm just telegraphing what she's trying to do.
My last order was to...
It's not. It hasn't taken off yet. You're still taxiing. It needs.
My
it's
last
actually gonna
order
do that.
was to take off.
Yep.
And Ares has a chance to change that order now. No, I continue to attempt to take off.
Well, if you take off and manage to get the wheels in the end before she manages to wrench a door open, hopefully,
That's
true.
out of
It's
moving
going to take
plane,
you a while.
might stop.
Takeoff is not instant. This is you accelerating. If you get this one, you will then on the next one begin to actually take to the
Right.
to the
That's the
skies.
plan.
I'm not focusing
yeah.
on Gunhilda. Like that is not a thing I'm looking at. That's not a thing I'm thinking about. There is yelling
Sure.
from behind me, so your order is to take off.
You possibly don't even notice Gunhilda's doing it.
Nope.
The two of you are pretty focused on that. Minnie,
It's
you
true.
would spot it, and
I've
Sam,
got a
you'd
bit
see her
going
go
on.
back. Okay.
I've got a bit going on.
Minnie would not spot her.
Okay.
Minnie's
Alright.
got a lot going on. Busy screaming.
I spot her. I yell, miss.
Oh yeah, Sam, you see her. You hear her yell and go for the
Oh,
hatch.
no, that's fine.
You are well aware that she's trying to throw herself out.
But I'm busy.
know
Do you need a hard?
No, that's
Is that going to get us in the air faster?
That is you continuing to move away with a busted wing. At the next one, you'll be moving up and actually getting skyborne. But for the time being, continuing to trundle forward. If they can keep the monster at bay, you might just be able to
Okay.
get this thing in the air. Okay.
So I don't need 4 points for a hard at this stage.
No.
Great.
Ares.
But I probably will once we.
I would like.
It's penalties once you're actually airborne. As this thing is
Yeah,
a bit
understood.
rickety.
Gotcha.
I would like to take the net.
Okay.
I would like to aim.
Ooh, that's
Noted.
cool.
All right. So you're gonna take a bonus dice on your next throw attempt with the net.
you.
Okay. All right.
And I am ensuring that, yes.
Do you have good throw for throwing some knives and stuff?
Do you remember when I
Yes.
yeeted a world-ending bomb into a small hole?
Yes, I do. I was like,
Ares has excellent throw.
Yeah, with the
I
amount of
didn't.
luck
I
that
had-
gets
Oh, you
banned
had
in your
not
hands.
20 throw when
Oh,
I
no.
did that.
I was pretty sure. That's why I was unsure. I was like, I remember we got a couple of mad throws. But
Everyone
anyway.
was like, I was like, I'm gonna throw it. And everyone was like, yeah. And I'm like, I got 20 throw.
20 throw.
And I was like, no. And I was like, let's go.
All right. Okay.
My throw is improved a little, but I'm not gonna spoil the fun by telling you what it is.
I have an idea
good
about what you
choice.
should do with your points in future.
Okay, well, probably well worth aiming then. So you stand, you've got one hand like holding the strap, which is tying you to the seat, and the other one hoists this huge, braided net from Hubert. You begin to like spread it out on the ground before you and try and time it when this thing gets close enough to throw it forward, catch it in it, and in one fell swoop save the day. Next is going to be Minnie underneath the seat with your head held around. Your arms held around your head. You hear the as one of the doors nearby opens or begins to creak away. What would you like to do?
Does the plane still feel like it's about to just take off and get out of Dodge?
Imminently? No.
But like we're still moving forward.
It is moving.
and-
Yeah, it's still moving, and it's accelerated. Sam has succeeded. It is making pace. That thing. Well, you can't. You're kind of avoiding looking at it, but yeah, progress is being made.
Okay. Did when Hubert and I were like, oh, there's nobody answering, that seems fine, we're just gonna get completely ready. Did part of that include putting on a parachute?
Yeah, I think you guys explicitly said you guys put on parachutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna continue to hide under the seats because these people have guns.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect.
Ooh.
So you stay down where you are. You hear the door open on
Oh,
Gunhilda's.
actually, I'm gonna pop up and watch Gunhild and see what happens to her.
Okay, she is yelling troll in Icelandic.
Correct.
She heads
Yeah.
towards.
She's right
She's
too.
completely through. She heads towards the hatch, opens it and pushes it away, and it now is ajar, slap back, and she's now looking down at the. She's not looking. The tarmac is rushing underneath in the the cold night air, and she's preparing to leap her ass out.
I was just going to say, was anyone going to stop her?
First chance I get, I'm going to dive and try and stop her. I got
great.
the net to Ares, so
Her turn was just going and opening the door. So the
Okay,
timing she has not
fantastic.
gotten out, you have a bit
I'm
of time.
probably gonna start army crawling towards her. Under
underneath
the
the chairs, head towards it. Okay.
Seems like it might be a good idea. But I also I have a different kind of madness to her, I think. So
You
but no,
do.
it seems like a good idea potentially, but it also seems like a really bad idea. So I'm gonna see how that plays for her.
Yeah, keep the options open.
Yeah.
Okay. Hubert,
Get that door closed.
it's gonna be you.
Did you yell that to me, Ares? Get the door closed?
I can certainly have if I hear a door open from back there. Then yes, I would absolutely be like, get that door closed.
Okay.
Because, we're taking off. I don't want things to fall. Like as soon as this is done, I'm closing the back. Like we don't want things to get in or out.
Sure, gotcha. This will determine it. Dave, if I shut this door, will...
Which door? The one that Gunhilda's trying to go out of?
Yeah, exactly. Will she just be able to go straight out the back?
I mean,
because
yeah, she'll probably try.
Okay, but if as long as I'll still have a chance to stop her then, because what I want to... I'll shut the door if I can, but priority is to stop her jumping out.
So the other option, you could just grab her, throw her into the cockpit, and close that door. And then she's in with Sam.
Yes, but that would leave the side door open is kind of the thing.
No, she can't get out from there. The cockpit doesn't... She's come out into the main area and tried to go out through one of the side doors. So yes, the side door would still be open, but if she's restrained, then...
It sounds like I'm going for that.
But it's up to you. You do also see Minnie now army crawling towards that door. So maybe you're like, okay, all right, there's a couple of you.
I will throw Gunhilda into the cockpit.
You're gonna give Sam penalty dice on piloting rolls if there is an insane woman next to him.
I tackle her. Okay. When it down,
close the door and tackle both of them.
I pin Gunhilda down to start with. I stop her from moving.
Make a fighting brawl check. I do not think she is capable of prevent. Actually, no. So it's you to her. Ooh, holy shit! It's not coming up.
No.
In that case, yeah, she's free. I don't think you have the luck because you had to do the Sandy one, right?
Oh, no.
Can you push it?
You can't push combat rolls, unfortunately. Okay. You try and make a lunge for her. She gets out of the way and she is not held down.
God damn it.
Nothing has slowed the giant thing on this round. So powering forward, it lunges forward and grabs onto the tail wing. You hear something crunch as it squeezes onto it. And suddenly, Sam, there's a lurch as you are not accelerating as fast as you were. It's going to make a roll ski. Hey, actually, let's oppose this with your piloting, Sam. Because you did succeed that roll. You might be able to... You see in the rear... Actually, but
okay. So I did say I'd like to get a hard on there.
You'll roll this one. You succeeded it, so you have control. You'll get to roll for this one. Yeah,
and you oppose roll.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a sanity roll for this one, though, because of this, you're going to have to, basically be aware of the giant thing holding you in place.
That's fair. First or after?
You roll your piloting check, and then we'll resolve it after.
Pilot first. Excellent.
You fucking gun. Okay,
Thanks,
well,
Dave.
If I get an extreme, I win it. Come on, get it in.
Well, no, you can't have an extreme. I already got an extreme.
Come on, you dog.
That's how this works. Probability, remember?
All right, it reaches forward.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oppose strength roll to escape, or piloting roll.
It catches it, and then you can hear a shriek, and then you wrench it. The whole thing fishtails a little bit and wobbles, and you're afraid the thing stumbles a little bit before catching back up. I will ask you to make a sanity roll though, as you see in the rear view mirror. Big monster. Hey, well done.
Oh, success by a single point.
Take 1 point. So next time that one will still be a success actually.
That's to be a success.
Nicely handled, Mr. Taylor Thompson.
Well, that went very well.
Okay, we go back to the top with
Delightful. Would you say that this monster, given that it just tried to grab the tail, of which I'm underneath, is in point blank range?
I would
it's
say
right
so.
there. You'll definitely get a
so.
bonus dice. So you'll get 2 bonus dice for your aim shot.
Delightful. Let's wrap this boy up, shall we?
Christmas present.
I must have missed this. What are you holding?
A giant net that it cable ties that are designed to keep cargo in place while a plane takes off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty solid.
We totally have one of those.
Yeah.
Great.
It's kind of
would you like to do your see how far we get before this happens, Sam? Or I suppose
I think you're taking advantage of it being close to do it.
All
So I
right.
think we'll do you
should
first.
throw, and then I'm going to pull back and take off.
with 2 bonus dice. Let's go.
Schwa.
And I'll remind you, 99 points of luck.
Oh, this is going to
this is getting locked. This is getting locked down.
Oh, well, that's...
A good
you
start,
have
to be honest.
50 throw? You had
I'm
50
pretty good.
throw?
Yeah, because I dumped 30 points into it.
Yeah, after the last one.
You were
Well,
saying
that's an
like,
8.
Oh, baby.
So I don't think I need to spend any of
think
my
you need to spend
99 luck
shit.
to get an extreme success.
All right. No. You like throw the thing, perfect fisherman's cast. It spreads in the air as it like lunges forward. It's just tried to grab the thing. It bunches around its forearm, hits the head, knocks around the back of it, and the whole thing stumbles and fully eats it into the ground as it slams down and tumbles along, completely incapacitated for the time being. And it's up for Sam to begin to haul back on the controls, and the plane shudders up and begins to head towards the sky.
Can I slam the button that closes the back door now as like a, or is that, will that?
Yeah, you hit that and it's beginning to raise back up. Yeah, it'll take a little bit.
So yeet, smash, go.
All right.
Yelled at Sam.
Sam, you're not presently being chased, so I'm not going to need a roll from you, I don't think. You just haul back on it and it begins to rise up into the sky. It's definitely a bit shuddery. The tail's a little bent, but not enough, but one of the wings has fully got bits torn from it, so it's taking a fair bit of focus to keep it in control. It is going to be Minnie and Gunhilda next, and the door is not closed, and Gunhilda is not incapacitated.
I'm crawling towards that end of the plains. We did not see the troll get wiped out. I did not see us wonderfully cause a fairy tale creature to eat shit on the tarmac. Shame. I'm still keen to see how this goes for Gunhilda, because I'm not myself, but I'm also a student and a analytical person, and
what we're doing here
is a better solution for her.
You can see her going for it,
and that may also suck. I'm just gonna keep army crawling up towards where she is, like
get into the position. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You head up towards her, and then as you arrive, Hubert's made a lunge to grab her. She's ducked under it and heading for the exit. Yeah.
Just because Sam didn't get any kind of roll. And this might be like metagaming Pigeon a little bit. But if Sam were to lurch the plane to the side using a piloting roll, could he essentially fling Brunhilde away from the door?
Oh, do you want to try and do some bullshit? You were aware of her back there.
Doing some
and Hubert's trying to hold on to her.
For the wing.
I don't think
you're risking
Sam would. I don't think Sam would risk the entire plane and everyone on it.
Risking it. What if that's? I mean, what if you do like a luck check and see if that's the way you'd have to kind of tilt the plane to compensate for the fucky wing? Because you're going to have to do some sort of twizzly shit to compensate.
What we're dealing with here is like it's the difference between a like hard banking and a not hard, and like hard will put a lot of stress on the plane for sure. Like this is
just to make it harder for her to jump.
After I grabbed her, I yelled, "She's gonna jump out!" Just so you have all the information and can decide, Sam.
But I mean, we could just do it as like a luck thing, right? Like, is it a 50-50 chance that's the way you have to kind of twizzle the plane?
Does that mean that if we fail, then she goes?
I mean, yes.
And Minnie gets thrown out right after it.
It was just a suggestion.
Oh,
Sam,
it's an exciting suggestion, and I think Sam is just slightly too risk averse to take it.
You're focusing on what you can. Okay. All right. Well then, with that, the plane begins to rise up. She gets towards the exit. It's open and she holds herself out.
Oh God.
You are in the air now, or just being taken out. You have stopped it from going.
We are now fleeing the monster.
I do
no
agree.
doubt.
Yeah.
We're now we are now increasing the distance.
She is, however, kind of just mad, quite literally, and that's what I am going to give her a roll. We'll handle it the old-fashioned way. She's going to get an intelligence roll and see if she can jump. She goes for it. She gets towards the edge. She doesn't realize the situation has changed enough, and she's completely clouded by it. She gets to it, and she throws herself towards the thing. As she clears it, she doesn't... Hubert, you were close. You can attempt to try and just reach out and grapple as she's on the way up, but she's currently like in egress. It's also, you've only just taken off. She'll probably hit the ground. It's probably not lethal at this height.
Yes.
Speed though? Speed, not height.
It's sure not going to be good.
The ground may not be lethal, but the troll is going to be
that thing.
3 seconds. It's going to be lethal.
My pitch was going to be, I wasn't sure how high we were going to get up. So, we were talking about all the equipment. I was going to say, can I try and like if I assume I've got a clip on my parachute or something, like can I like hook onto the thing and then grab her and go out with her? So as long as I can hold onto her, I can like bounce and hit shit. But as you know,
absolutely,
while still being
James.
attached to the plane.
yes,
That rules. Sorry, dude. The best thing, what really cool is what you should do is because you don't need to clip on. You just deploy the parachute. It goes backwards into the plane, and you just jump after her and trust someone's gonna grab it, or it catches onto shit. Like that's cool as hell.
that's.
Please still grab something. You are heavy.
Just do it. Just do it. It'll be so sweet. It'll be so cool. Just do it.
I try to clip myself as we go. I don't know if it works, and then I pull the parachute and I go. I do everything I can to secure myself and then leap.
Deeply
Grab.
fucking cool. Make a jump roll. You are gonna grab her. I'm not giving. She's not focused. She just goes right. You are gonna connect her. This is where you are positioned. You leap after it. You grab her, and you both go tumbling out of the plane. You hit the wing and are rolling along it a little bit. You've only just taken off Sam. You feel a lurch. The whole thing goes to the side. She's screaming. You can hear her saying, "My brother, my brother!" And then you're holding on, and then you go twisting around to the side. We're gonna keep this in initiative. As you go off the edge, you can see in the distance the shadow. You have now officially taken off Sam. Can you give me you're gonna be at the top, can you give me a piloting roll with a penalty dice as you wrestle this thing and try and keep it head steady? Where are you aiming for? Are you beginning to turn, because basically do you bank left and towards the nearby villages, or do you bank right and towards the major establishment?
Yeah.
Can I suggest you make whatever decision is going to try and roll us back inside?
Who was I talking to? Was I talking to Helna or
Helna didn't have any response.
Or Stickis Holma?
Stickers Holma.
The big lads,
The big one.
the place further away has people. The other place, we might just rock up to the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm confident we've got enough fuel to get to the major airstrip.
Confident? No.
Shit.
Get close.
With a roll?
Confident
yes.
Okay, confident I can get to Helna, not confident I can get to
That's
Stickis
right.
Holma.
That's right. You're a hell of a pilot. Unfortunately, one of your allies is very heavy and currently halfway out the plane with a parachute deployed. That is for sure screwing with aerodynamics.
All right, we'll go to Stickis Holma, and if we don't make it, at least we'll be further away from the trolls
When you
and closer
crash.
to getting help.
Okay, go ahead and make a piloting roll with a penalty dice, please.
Oh,
Oh, dude,
45. Do I need a hard?
I tell you what, a hard will certainly help.
I would love a hard. 6 points of luck.
Okay, thank you. A welcome donation to my luck pool.
What do you do with it? What do you do with all these points of luck we give you, Dave?
I just keep
He's
them.
like
I
us.
put
He's got
them
a
on the
big
big
Scrooge
bad guy.
McDuck.
No, I put them on the big bad, and then when you guys fight them right at the end, they're gonna have like shitloads. It's gonna be sweet
I
ass.
just assumed that's what you lived off.
That should be a
just
metaganic.
Sustenance.
No, it shouldn't.
goes- I think
It's hard
there
enough
is some
already.
stuff about. I mean, named it like villains do get luck in Pulp Cthulhu. I do have luck to spend. You know, like an evil leprechaun that just gathers it. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm too excited about the leprechaun thing now. So you were able to bang it to the right. You basically sustain Hubert on the wing, and you have this thing in control. I'm no longer going to be applying the penalty dice for that for the time being. You are now coasting up through the sky and heading towards the distant one. Of course, the actual landing is going to be a different problem. But for the moment, dealt with. It is now going to be Ares and Minnie. You can both see as the deployed parachute is beginning to rush along the thing and towards the exodus. Hubert is on the wing, twisting along around it and beginning to head towards the edge.
I was
What's that
about
say?
to say, I think it's, we've joked about Hubert always takes a catastrophic amount of damage at some point in the scenario, and it's been getting earlier and earlier and earlier. Can I do it before we even touch down?
Yeah. Well, you'll touch down, Jim. That's what'll do it.
I will lunge towards the parachute.
Okay.
Or the whatever is available to try and to stop this. Yes. That's I'm gonna try and get them back in the plane. And I guess I will also probably roar at Miss Sinclair, help me. And see if I can at least get through some of the madness to get her to, like, in that moment act in a beneficial way, but not necessarily long-term act. I'm trying to temporarily break through it.
I dig.
And what I was going to say was that my madness is basically that I don't believe I'm a hero anymore. But I'm still a good person. I'm not just gonna let
Someone go flying out of the plane.
my friend eat bitumen. Like
at this point, it's also not like it's less personal risk.
also,
You're not going toe to toe with the thing. You're trying to save
Ares
someone.
has a gun. Hubert has. These people are heroes. These people have weapons. I don't want them on the ground. I want them with me.
I like it. Okay, perfect. So
I feel like I would help, even though I'm crazy.
So I think Ares, you like grab some of the like fabric as it goes racing past. You feel it almost wrenched out of your hand as suddenly Hubert jerks on the other side. Your boots skid along the ground for a bit, and you yell for Minnie to
I would very much
halt
like to have like
help.
a boot up on the edge of the door, like
sick.
just fully like wedged in. I will attempt to like secure myself again if I have a moment, but at the like even
Probably
if it's
not
Can I
at the
do that?
moment. This is all pretty.
Can I do that? Can I
yes.
secure Ares?
Yes, you can.
Right.
You can basically grab onto Ares independently as like.
Yeah, or even just grab like Ares will have stuff on him.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
and
expecting
Ares
to
made a
use
point
that
of saying
big
that
knife,
they put a they put a parachute on there, be all sorts of straps and
Yeah, there's
shit
all
coming
sorts of
off
bits
that.
Well, no,
I
now you just
basically
deploy Ares parachute.
No, I want to buckle. I want to use some of the buckles on there because there's additional buckles on parachutes. Like there's your
there's
backpack
heaps,
thing,
heaps.
there's your straps, and there's like 6 other buckles. It's a full-on harness situation. I would like to clip Ares harness onto a bit of the plane.
Yeah, 100%.
So
All right.
Ares is clipped into the parachute, and the parachute is also clipped to the plane.
I'm going to get Minnie you to make a dexterity roll to try and clip
Yeah,
this
I'm
on
not good at
throughout
this.
all of this nonsense. And
That's
then
better than strength.
Ares, it's going to be a strength roll for you to try and stop this exit.
I'm not good
It's
at
that
any of these
Captain
things.
America, that thing where he's holding the helicopter, the very kind of
Ooh. Oh, thank fuck for that.
78 over 50. I'm assuming there's no bonuses or anything for
No,
that.
no.
But you were clipped in.
I clipped in.
Hang on.
Do you want to spend luck?
Yeah, it's 28 points of luck. I have 99. It's taking out to 71. Yeah.
Take it, you coward.
Sorry, the reason I was silent was I was just doing
the best.
calculating how much
Yeah.
luck I had to
Oh, good.
spend and being
Just
like,
ask.
yes, fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
that's
28
good.
points of luck.
So,
Let's go. Let's make that a success.
as Minnie lunges forward and gets one of the clips hooked in, Carter wraps a hand through the fabric, bracing his thing, and leans back, and suddenly there's a wrench on it. As Hubert, from your perspective, you holding the other pilot, roll along to the very edge of it, are just about to go off the side when it wrenches taut, and you're held, it snaps. You are, however, still slipping now along the angle of the wing and towards the other side, and you are still no longer safe. You are just held for the time being. Hubert, what are you trying to do?
Mr. Smith, get yourself inside.
I attempt to do that, but can I add a little danger, Dave?
Yes, please.
Yeah, just to go. We start sliding, and I look up, and we're heading towards the propeller, which is
Yeah, that tracks.
Proper pulp bullshit.
Absolutely.
I will try to drag myself and Grenhilda back inside the plane.
Okay. You put it on one hand forward, begin to haul yourself. I actually think this is gonna be a climb roll. As you just haul yourself along and towards, I think is the most suitable.
Can I, I've got cords all over me. Can I hook something around Grenhilda so she can't get away? Like, so I can focus on climbing, basically?
You've pretty got her.
Good. Okay, cool.
No, not easily. You'd have to stop and do that because you do have cords going everywhere, but they're also like you just deploy the parachute, like it's knotted around
Yeah.
and shit, like it's
Yeah,
kind of
gotcha.
chaos. You'd put something around her and it'd probably just snap her arm if it actually went tight.
Okay. Well, if I think I pretty much got her, then I'm just gonna go for the climb. Here.
Am I applying any kind of bonus for,
Yes, that's a good point. We'll apply that as
As
a
in-
bonus, but with that in mind, it's gonna like if this fails, it's yeah.
Shit. It's gonna fail.
Okay.
Look, I think do I push that? I don't know.
Oh, don't push it. It's going to be a just penalty of some damage as you slip and slide and then get hauled inside because you've now got this back
Okay.
under control. You could push this and try and throw yourself for it, but
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go into the propeller if that happens.
yes, I think that is what happens. You're like trying to haul yourself along it slowly. You know, your boot is back to us in a moment as it cuts through one of your, the toe of your boot, shredding a couple of toes in the progress, and then you haul yourself forward slowly towards the edge. It's making it hell for Dr. Sam to try and actually pilot the damn thing, but Carter pulls you in one moment at a time, and then finally get to the edge, throw Gunhilda inside, and then make the last jump towards it, haul yourself in, and click it close with a final
Slam the
twist. The door is secured, although definitely twisted a little bit. The frame wasn't really supposed to take off with this.
How much damage do you want me to fire?
Take 2d4 just for getting nipped by the propeller. Nothing too significant, especially for a man of your prodigious size.
Oh, still 7. That hurts.
Yeah, it probably does. You probably lose it. Shreds the hell out of your toes at least.
Yeah, I think I might. I'm going to think of a cool injury that can occur, and I'll come back to it at some point.
Hell yes, please do. Once you're on the inside, Minnie, you will eventually resurface, effectively, because it's going to be at least a 10-minute, maybe more, be like half an hour or so to get there. And when you arrive, it's going to be late, probably getting towards, it was maybe 10 or so when you were touching down here. It's probably going to be, 11:30, something by the time you actually come in. The madness will fade, and I'll pass it to the four of you. You are aiming towards the larger town. Watching the fuel gauge, it's going to be close.
On the way, I'm getting back on the radio saying Mayday, damaged plane, encountered hostiles, low fuel. We're going to need some help.
I wouldn't say encountered hostiles.
What do you say as far as hostiles?
No, I would say like...
They know that people have been going missing. They specifically said that.
That's not public. That's kind of have the hit up. They
meteorological event.
I would no. I would want people to know that there is something dangerous there, so don't go there. If I just say, I don't know, I hit the plane. Yeah, but everything's fine there. No worries. Yeah, your cousin's visiting there soon. No, that's all. I'm gonna say we were attacked. So stay away from there. Our plane's damaged. We're on low fuel. We need some help to land, and we're going to need some help when we're on the ground.
Okay, they will.
I would also say, forgive, but when Sam was talking to the radio tower and mentioned, we said there's no one there. I thought that in character they said people had been going missing.
Did I?
No, they said.
I think they said that people might have been gathered by the thing. I may have, if I did, I misspoke.
That's fine.
Sorry.
I think they said that they may have evacuated the volcano.
From the volcano. That was my intent, at least, was that they could have been brought to the aid camp. But that's it. It was still a bit suspicious. They shouldn't have necessarily done that, and they would have told them. So they were definitely just trying to wait.
People were missing, but that was Grunhild.
But she's more aware of things. Yeah. So as you begin to move about and everyone's sort of resecured, Gunhilda's taking a while to get back across. She's just speaking in Icelandic and once again muttering about trolls. She is going to regain her sanity soon, though. Sam, you get on the radio and try and get back in contact. When you say we were attacked, you will hear them go, say again?
Yeah, attacked. There was one or more hostiles on the airstrip. So we've got to come to you with low fuel and a damaged wing.
Hostiles? What do you mean hostiles?
Look, I don't want to speculate at this time. That's all I can tell you. But we can talk more when we get there. But hey, if you can get the word out that you got to stay away from Olesvik at the moment, that might not be such a bad thing.
They'll acknowledge that they've understood what you said, and they will reconfirm your information, basically as being the Chaosium plane coming in and associated with the aid camp that's been set up.
That's right.
Okay. All right. They say, all right, we will direct you in. We'll have the runway clear when you arrive. How are you for fuel? It's a long flight.
Look, it's going to be a bit touch and go. I'm going to keep you updated as we come in.
All right. They basically leave a channel open so that you can get in touch with them both ways. And they will have it clear, so the worst case you can try and glide in for the last chunk of it. Okay.
So I'm keeping them updated, and I'm hoping that because I don't know the area. I'm telling them how much fuel I've got. They can track it, and they can tell me, where's a good place to land.
They will probably say, actually, you are right. With that, they'll probably say, we suggest you divert to one of the other landing strips in the area.
Yeah, that's a good point. They'd probably tell me to go to hell now, wouldn't they?
They would. Although once
Prefer
you've mentioned,
not.
actually, you've mentioned hostiles.
That's right. Like I was like, prefer not.
We
Helena,
also
pretty close
specifically
by.
said that we had tried other places and they hadn't responded either.
That's true. Did I try to contact Helena and there was no one?
Yeah.
You did.
And there
You
wasn't
did.
any
There was no
response.
response.
Yeah. So same situation, Helena. Prefer to come to you.
Okay. All right. They say we will be. We're on standby. Take it, low and slow, or whatever planes actually do to save fuel. Chuck all your shit out the back. All right, you have about 15 plus minutes of flight. Sam's kind of nervously tapping the fuel gauge, but beyond that, there's not a lot of interactivity with the plane to do. There are some small tricks you could do, Sam, that would come to your mind. You could pilfer fuel from your flying machine and put it in. You could also pilot the flying machine separately, and that would save
and
weight.
lift the weight off.
Yeah, and preserve weight. As you're considering these as well, I will say also Gunhilda will come back, and she is going to say that thing, that was a troll. They've spoken about those in the areas. My brothers mentioned them in the past, but it's just superstition. I never gave it any weight. That thing came towards us. It attacked us.
Yeah, look, it could be, or it could be something else. But hey, it's back behind us now. Can't hurt us when we're in the air.
We need to go back. My brother's there. My family, good people.
Oh no,
we need to go back and
absolutely
be
go back,
prepared.
We have every
We don't want
intention
to be
of
ambushed by
going
it.
back.
Don't get us wrong. We're here to help, but we can't help a lot if we can't get in one piece and we've got a damaged plane. We can't get out. The best way we can help is to keep ourselves safe first, and then go back there with more reinforcements.
We would like to get in without it knowing. Also, that would be ideal. I mean, the whole throwing shit at the plane, not great, not ideal.
But
we will
reinforce,
go
the more
back.
people that go in, surely the more likely to run into these things. I mean, there's stories of things roaming
We
the
won't
woods.
be
They're
taking reinforcements. We will be going
More
in as a
equipment.
small team ourselves, but we need to be prepared.
Bigger guns.
Or at least.
Just practically, we can't turn back now. We don't have enough fuel.
We can't land there. Don't like our odds at Helena. I think we got to get ourselves on the ground in one piece.
If we touch down now, they're going to have questions. I mean, the plane's been damaged. If we take a truck, it'll take us a day or more to get back on the roads. They've been savaged by the Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, so we could see if we can get another plane and stick a Selma, maybe.
I mean, the other wild option. Listen, can we could. I wish we'd had this conversation not in front of her.
There's nowhere to really go.
Yeah, I know.
And then we can wait until we land and have the conversation now.
Oh well, it's so
Straight up, Grunhilde. You know what you just saw. Seeing this sort of thing once is bad. Seeing it a lot of times and knowing about a lot of this sort of stuff is much, much worse. Would you prefer to go to the back of the plane and plug your ears and not be involved in any more of these conversations? Because they do kind of put a target on you. And look, I'm going to recommend that you don't mention what you saw to anybody ever. And in fact, you go to the back of the plane and plug your ears while we have a little discussion. Because this is the kind of thing that could very much uproot your life if you're not fully committed. And I hate to say the word ruin your life, but if this is not the sort of thing, you just saw a troll.
And trolls aren't real.
And I'd like to understand what I saw. And if it's hurting
Would
people, I'd
you
like
really?
to...
Are you
Yes.
sure?
Listen,
Because you can't undo this.
I've already seen it.
Yes, but that's there is an escalation thing here, and the rest of your life would be much, much happier if you try and forget what you saw. Trust that we know what we're doing. And don't involve
You can
yourself.
make Minnie. You can make a persuasion check to try and basically get her to head separate.
I should have just lied.
I will flag. She's for one, she's older than all four of you.
Yeah,
that's true.
And she does have a level of her family is in danger.
Yeah,
and she would like to.
Yeah.
She's not going to just plug her ears and avoid the conversation.
If this helps, and if I can.
She was hired as a guide. She is fairly capable in the area.
I guess I'm not trying to persuade her of anything. I'm asking her a genuine question.
And with that, she genuinely will say, No, I don't. I want to be involved, and also I want to
Okay.
go back. I understand I actually reacted poorly, and
Don't worry, so did I.
that's something I'm going
It
to
happens.
grapple with, but I would like to go back, and I'd like to find
Well-
my brother. If that thing's roaming around, I want to see if the people that were working that station are dead.
Here's an idea then, right? We really do want to be going in there prepared with supplies, with a plane, etc. But we also speed everything that you've said. Here's an idea. If you can fly this plane back, we take a bunch of the parachutes, we parachute out here with the flying machine, we go in on foot, we organize a rendezvous point with you, so you fly back, refuel the damn plane, and before we leave, we put in a few holes with guns in the side of the ship so that there is a totally valid, oh my god, we were attacked, and look, bullet holes, so that they don't just say, that's a sign of giant impact, you just crashed this thing, what's going on? So that could be a point. But the point is, you go, fuel the plane, come and meet us. We
Come
can
back
go
for
there
us.
immediately and do it, but we need supplies, and at this stage, we're better equipped to deal with this problem immediately. Also, you know the infrastructure there, you speak the language, you can get along with people.
I know
that's not
people in the city.
That's
I can
brilliant.
try and get contacts. Understand? There's currently a massive evacuation underway. It's going to be a bureaucratic
Exactly.
nightmare.
Exactly. You're part of the evacuation, and you know you left us there as aid workers, and
But
you
I'm
have to
saying
go get us back as part of the evacuation.
What I'm saying is I can't promise we'll get back soon.
I
I'll do what I
understand.
can, and if Catasays can pull strings, which we've been able to in the past, we might be able to speed things
Exactly.
up. But
I think it's a good idea, Hubert. Because look, you know, you're worried about going back there right away. We can do that.
I think
We
it's a
can do
good
that.
idea.
And it also solves our problem of getting fuel out. And the second thing is, if you can drop us somewhere, if there's a bunch of abandoned things and people have vanished, I presume there might be a car somewhere. Genuinely, we can jump in that and drive back. Like, I think that, yeah.
We're not
Right,
we're not so far away that's impossible. You know, we're
I'm
pretty
in
close.
favour.
That way we come in quietly, and yeah.
If we're dropping out, we got to do it now. But is that all right with you?
Well, we should
Hilda?
check with the
Yes.
tactician before we
Do you-
come up with wild ideas.
Oh, that's true. Do the four of us
This is our
agree?
opportunity
you
to
are
Thunderbird.
just, I would say, fuel is going out. So
Yeah, and if
Aries, what do you
we jump
think?
out, if the four of us are out and the flying machine's out, it
Quite
gives
frankly,
Hilda a
I
better
think-
chance of getting the
Yes.
plane to stick us on there.
yep.
Quite frankly, knowing what we know about Caduceus, knowing what we know about the enemies we face, this is one of the stupidest ideas we've ever had.
Yeah.
Get the door open.
Excellent. Hell yeah.
So that deeply rules. So with the with the
I
lost
know what my
weight,
purpose is.
that will
I
be
know why I'm here.
that will be enough for she's not gonna turn back and drop you anywhere easy, because
No.
you can probably like lose. You can
She
save some
doesn't
time.
have the fuel.
No.
No, and this
No,
is gonna be enough.
we're dropping wherever we
The idea is
are.
we
and
drop.
we're-
What was-
it's
what
going
was
to
your
be closer
line?
than.
What's your line, Sam? For like pilot over or whatever. There's one of those that goes
My
back.
plane. My
My
plane.
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 My plane.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah,
plane.
yeah, yeah,
And she
yeah.
takes back control, puts the headset on, and we'll begin to try and coordinate now in Icelandic as you head towards the
Oh, yeah.
back. Now, Sam, as you like pull the sheet off your plane, already pre-rigged, ready to go, and everyone grabs a couple pieces, you can all parachute up. Hubert, you might want to change yours for one that's undeployed.
Not
Unused.
Sam,
damaged.
so this plane cannot accommodate 4 people. What
No,
it can
that's
do
true.
though is give you can glide it with, you can like, because if they fall off, they're in parachutes. You guys can hold on to like the legs and try and get
Yeah.
a bit of distance before you all deploy, like
Yeah.
halo drop into the
Right.
volcano.
Well, I mean,
or
That
the
was what I
town,
was
or
going to
whatever
say.
you
is
guys
that
are doing.
We can all be on the plane as it rolls out, just to get away from the other plane,
Yeah.
and then
I would
but
also
this is-
say that instead of putting one of us in the passenger seat, we put some
put
supplies.
supplies in the
Oh,
passenger
and
seat,
it-
and the 3
Yeah.
of us parachute.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, I'm wondering if the 3 of you are just like in parachutes but tethered to the glider, you know, then you can, then you
They're
can all
in
steer
parachutes.
together, but it's not actually taking your weight.
Tying it probably,
No,
there's a
that
risk of
is a
something.
terrible
Not
idea.
tying,
Oh, we'll just hold on until
tying,
we
but holding
parachute.
on
I think they'll just hang
without
on
like
and then-
actually adding any weight.
But if
It'll be-
I think with
it'll-
the parachutes up, there's a good chance that'll.
The
I think it's
parachute.
risky.
Don't
You can
deploy
try.
parachute.
You're a
will
pretty
not
good
lift
pilot,
your
Sam. You
plane.
might be able to do it. The other one
You
would be
don't want
generally
to
you just.
deploy
What's kind
A
of almost a
parachute
gimme
in the
though
aeroplane.
is everyone can hold on to the thing and you can
It's true.
coast along, and basically you guys can try and get a lot closer than here, and then
Yeah.
you
All
drop
right, let's
down.
do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Before
Can
we
we
drop.
get to, given that I did do a bird's eye view, these are where the places are, do we have an idea of a maybe town that is a little closer than where we're going, or are we literally in the middle of scrub right now?
You guys haven't gotten that far, and Sam, I mean, it'll kind of turn to Sam's role. You might be, we'll see how many options you have. You can decide in the air. So
Yeah, well,
moving
because
quickly.
that's the advantage of holding onto the plane is that we get that little bit of gliding time for Sam to find an optimal bailout spot for
Hell
us.
yeah. So moving quickly, Sam hurls off the top and gets into the sea. You get to go over your things, get your cool little leather strap helmet on, and freelance it so you can take flight beside you. The rest of the team runs around you, throwing like cans and bullets and hatchets and all kinds of loose shrapnel into the back seat that you can't help but nervously glance at in the mirror. And then each with
Backseat?
oh, wherever I think it's in front. We've said that it actually is.
Yeah.
There's
Two, yeah.
And
I
then
think there's two
with-
side by side.
I wasn't sure
I
if we
think it's-
decided
I think
to,
it's
but does
Oh no, it is behind, isn't it? Because I.
Oh, no,
that
it
was
has to
the-
be.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It
It
is.
was, it's either behind or front. I can't remember.
I don't know if we decided to do this or not, and I don't want to linger on it because we're sort of in a cool scene. But does Ares coolly empty a revolver into the side of the plane to make it look like we were
Absolutely not,
attacked?
because it
No,
will look
okay.
like it got shot from the inside.
The inside.
Yeah.
We
I
have
don't-
to do this
yeah.
once we bailed out.
Oh, I don't think we need to do
as you're
it.
flying.
I don't
No.
think so. I don't
no.
feel a need to lie
No,
to
I don't
these
think so.
people.
Oh, if we wanted to lie to these people, which also, like, potentially,
lied better.
I'll lay this down as an option. Large rocks have been falling and, like, destroying roads and stuff. It is very reasonable that it could have been some kind of,
Kind of been
you know,
flagged that
volcanic
there was
debris,
under
like-
attack.
All right,
Volcanic debris
Grunhilda,
is a
we need this to
possibility.
look real.
I don't see a reason to
I
to
see a
lie.
very good need to lie to literally everyone right now.
Unfortunately-
No one should know that trolls are real, and the fact that Brunhilde knows means she's probably going to be dead.
That's
You're a
true.
bit
Remember what
short.
they did to
I
the
told her.
town?
You are
But
so
she's a
short on time. The
gremlin.
last chance
Yeah,
you're going to
it's-
probably have is either yelling something, shooting her, or Sam, you do have a radio. You could try and you are going to have a brief window where you can still get in touch with Gunhilda as you're going.
I think we've said hostiles. She can manage it from there.
Yep.
She's
That's
a
what she
grown
is.
woman. She's made her
That's
choice.
right.
Yeah.
Also, if she starts saying trolls, everyone will just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Oh, there is a
Except
superstition in
Caduceus.
the region, which you'd be aware of through the occult stuff. And people from the area where you're dropping into are more superstitious than others. They would probably just go, "Oh yeah, that'd be right. You probably just saw a big brick." Regardless, all three of Ares and Minnie get on the side of two of the like rudders and hold on, and Hubert gets to the back of it, puts his feet down, and just one step after the other begins to push it towards the rear as Sam
and
begins to
Hubert
spin
gets
up the
landing gear.
propellers, and then with the last couple heave, Hubert basically throws the plane and the three of you out, holding on to the back of it as it begins to race
I've
down.
got a picture of Hubert hanging from the bottom above his head like it's a glider.
Yeah.
And then
Fully
the
flying
other
fox.
two, like
Holy
holding
shit.
onto a wing each, and then Sam in the middle, kind of.
Deeply cool. So Sam, I'm going to ask you to make a
Shit.
piloting roll, and this is absolutely going to scale with success levels. It's just a straight roll, no penalty, no bonus.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
6 points to get us to the ground in one piece. I
Okay,
hope.
yep. You could push this.
I could.
Then you,
You
can't
could push
fuck it.
this. You will not be able to lock it, and the risk would be shaking someone loose earlier. So you guys would be a bit
Oh.
scattered. You are not together.
Still have the parachute.
We'd lose it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
so
you would begin to
parachute.
have
That
people
would
scattered
be-
across the.
That
thing.
would be so good.
That's only if you fail.
I'm gonna
I think
push
that's
it.
pretty good.
Hell
I think
yes,
it's pretty
dude.
good. You should do it.
Yeah.
Yes!
Everyone make
Okay,
luck rolls.
how do we decide? How do
Everyone
we
make
do-
luck
yeah, luck.
rolls.
Or,
And if you all thought, well, someone's going off. So.
Wait,
oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
That is a fumble.
You are all scattered, one after the other. Hubert, as soon as you throw it off, Sam like does like a roll thing, and you just get thrown to the side and drop almost immediately down towards the side, tumbling through the air. You reach for the parachute and prepare to wrench it open. After a little bit longer, Sam, you can't actually see where the others are. Minnie, who failed?
It would have been me then, Ares. Ares failed by the least, I think.
Okay, all right. So then, Minnie,
Yeah.
you are going to be the next to drop somewhere not too far. This all happens fairly rapidly over a short period, but it's far enough that you guys are going to be scattered and need to re-find one another. And then finally, it's Ares that gets shaken loose, and at this point, Sam, you will spot the chute of Hubert opening further in the distance as you begin to try and take control, and you can fly. So you could rendezvous with any one of them, but everyone is scattered for the time being as they drop down in the dark over Iceland. The last thing I will ask is all 4 of you to please make a spot hidden roll on your descent.
Oh, good.
Could I say for my fumble, could they not know where I end up?
Oh, hell
Does
yeah.
that
And you
work?
were the first two. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah,
And you were underneath the plane on the landing gears.
yeah, so no
like,
one sees where my
nobody
chute
saw you
is, and I
come.
don't see where they are. So
Yes, please. Thank you, Jim.
Do you
Thank
want
you.
that
Finally.
extreme success?
Nicely
Oh.
done.
High five and extreme.
Okay,
Nice.
who got was that 2 extremes and
both.
2 failures?
Yeah, 2 extremes, 2 failures.
Okay, well, that's the, like, complete, there's the extremes of it. So,
And then, actually, Ares and I may have dropped near each other because we failed by about the same amount,
it's
and
going to
we
be
can see
scattered
the
enough.
same shit.
You might be able to you'll spot each other, and you can maybe be able to head towards other.
Just gonna
This
do
is not
like-
what you actually spot with the extreme. So with a regular success, you notice what appears to be a shooting star firing through the sky that goes over you not far from here. Sam, at this point, you're sort of beginning to swing around, so you won't see it. And Hubert, you're in like a dead drop dive as you head towards the ground at great speed.
That's a Serpent missile going for Gunhilda.
And with an extreme success, no, it is not heading towards Grunhilda, although very good thought. It is heading towards the volcano, and you see it take off from
catalyst.
the other side of the mountain. It takes off, it goes at speed, and then it slows down, and then lowers down. Through one of the, like a set of doors or something. And with an extreme, both of you see it is like sort of spherical, and it actually seems your instinct would be some sort of, if it's a missile that was very well controlled, it actually moves a bit like one of
flying
Dr.
saucer.
Sam's planes. Yes, you would think flying saucer or something similar.
That was something coming towards the volcano and
Towards
then
the volcano.
stopping.
Stopping and going inside. It goes inside through.
Is
It
there
like
into the
lowers, and you
volcano?
don't see the entrance point, although you would know which face of the volcano it is now. But
Right,
it seems
that's
like
what I was gonna
lower
ask.
down through trees and then vanish out of sight.
I'm gonna look at that and look at Ares. And then I should be like drift apart and into the canopy.
Hell yeah. Okay, and so with all 4 of our, 3 at least of our parishes deployed and people scattered throughout the forests and mountainous regions of Iceland, and Dr. Sam, the only one with any real control of where he's going to land, we will park the session there so that you can head back out under the cover of night to try and find the missing people, see what happens, and kick a little fucking serpent butt. All this and more next time on the Two-Headed Serpent.
hell
God, we're
yeah!
good.
What
God,
a
we're good.
session.
That's very loud.
That was good.
All right,
That's a start of a chapter.
that's
if
what
I
we
ever
like to
heard
say.
one.
That's very pulp.
Gladiatorial netting a chasing troll while we take off.
Very
jumping
sweet.
out.
But
All
then,
good stuff. Just keep
but
adding
then
to it.
having this beautiful concept of thunderbirding our way out of the plane and completely screwing it
Well, you
up.
guys basically
Yeah, it's like
joked about it on the way in.
Completely.
It was seated.
Just abject failure.
Hell yeah.
Hey, look, check off Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Now it's been
That's
done.
true.
All right, well, thank you all for playing, and thank you everyone for watching. We will leave you all
Thank you,
there,
Dave.
and we will pick you up in 1 week. See you there. Shwa.